Well, I think we're live, folks. It may be a little informal because we're all newbies at this. So there's always an error factor when you start out as a brand newbie.
It doesn't look too difficult, actually.
Right. It's printing like a narcoleptic tree sloth, so I'm going to hit the restroom, and by the time I get back, it should be done.
7:01? Seriously?
Well, no, it's 7:03 now.
7:03 now. Well, fuck. I don't know if that messes up. If I set the time for 7 and it starts at 7:02, does that mean it won't start? I have to go check it. I've got a feedback here. No, I don't see anything.
Did it not start? There we go. I'm taped. Whew.
Live stream offline. Live control room. Create a title. Battletech. Public add a description. Create stream.
This is all D6s, it looks like.
So should we
Start it all over again.
should we go in and share or link people to what this is, or
Once it gets going, yeah. Don't do it till then. I had it going this afternoon. Sorry about that.
what is the link? How do I find it?
It's YouTube. Hold on, I don't know.
Maybe
I don't
we
know.
should set it to start at 7:15.
Well,
Give-
I have
give
to go
yourself
back
like
and
10
start all
minutes.
over again. This doesn't say it's happening over here though. Stream preview.
What's it called? Battletech Bootcamp?
Battletech Bootcamp.
Battletech, all one word?
Yeah, no, 2 words.
Live Battletech Bootcamp. That looks like me. Hello? That's me, yep.
You're on there?
I'm on there. It's showing a picture of Dave as we speak.
Yay!
Shouldn't be
Which
showing a
Dave?
picture of you. That would be if you were here. Like that.
Rock and or roll.
So it is live.
There's a lag of about 20 seconds or so.
Like
Yeah.
that one?
Thank you.
You are welcome.
Okay.
Well, it works a little better than I thought.
Oh, and now it's showing me.
Oh, you don't want to copy the rules?
No, I need something to put in the as a kind of.
Oh, you want the box top?
Here, hand me the rules.
There's only one person watching now.
Okay.
I believe it's me.
Okay, you hand me the quick start rules. Hand me the box top.
There you go.
Uh,
This is what you should be seeing right now.
Can you mute that?
Yep. Yeah, it just showed up.
It's got a weird delay that I'm not really used to dealing with yet. All right.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of a.
No, the 1 second delay so I can switch meaningfully.
it's more than a 1 second delay on here. It's like a 30-second delay.
Yeah, and it's got to go up around and through here and down through there and up and there. And
Where did we put those?
everybody could have a little more light on them.
That is absolutely true.
It's actually better if we go this way.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. So
Well, that won't be turned towards you, Jeff. Jeff, you should turn yours towards.
Towards.
there we go. Oh, hold on.
And then yeah,
There we go. And you want that one at me, so you want to turn that one this way.
this one,
Yeah, you want to turn that one toward me down here. Yep.
Yeah.
That's way better.
and you got
And
her. You got to get Andy.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
There we go.
And then I will turn this up a little bit. All right, how does it look now? Looks pretty good. Let me get these let me get this ambient light up.
I feel like we've got a lot of hold on. We've got a lot of light on the table for. I guess we're gonna need a lot of light on the table, right?
Well, you know what? It's this thing here could be turned down once.
Well, no, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think.
Well, no, because there's a flare on the glossiness of the box.
Oh.
So, well, and this should be turned this way. Yeah, the beginner's box, and then if there's another box,
All right.
you
so
want
that
the,
so you are up.
Sure.
You are up, and Dave is down. Okay.
Okay.
so everything's upside down for you, Jeff.
Got it.
And we'll just have these out here.
That'll
for
work.
now.
All right. Now I have to.
So Jeff is in the upside down.
I am in the upside down.
Jeff, it's your show,
There-
man.
you know there's a Stranger Things D&D starter box now, right?
No, I did not know that.
Yes.
Let me say.
That's fantastic.
BattleTech. I think it should have been one word.
You're right. It should have been one word. Too late now.
I mean, we can stop it and
I'll
restart.
remember next time.
Good.
Okay. Just checking to make sure. All right. So tonight is an introduction to BattleTech. This is the new beginner box that just came out. It is designed for 2 players for an introductory version of the BattleTech game. And when you're ready to move up to the full version, the Game of Armored Combat box set comes next and introduces some rules that I'll talk about, but we're not going to play with tonight.
Okay.
So BattleTech was created back in the 80s by Jordan Weissman and Fossa Corporation. They saw some artwork of really cool giant robots and thought, let's make a giant robot game. So they licensed some of the images for the mechs we'll be using tonight from a couple of anime TV series. And the whole tangled web of legalities that comes from that would take several episodes of a show to explain. Long story short, while these mechs look very similar to their original anime counterparts, they are no longer identical for various legal reasons. So the mech designs have changed a tiny bit over the years. But long story short, when they created this giant robot game, they had to come up with a good reason for these giant robots to be beating the hell out of each other all the time. And so, being students of military history, they crafted a background that would look very familiar to fans of Game of Thrones. For about 30 years, I told everyone that BattleTech was Dune with giant robots.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I say Game of Thrones with giant robots because people get that reference a lot more readily than they get Dune.
Dune, sadly.
But,
It's too bad Sting was awesome.
right.
I will kill him.
I will kill him. Yes, back when I was a LARPer, people used to say, bring in that floating fat man, the Baron. But anyway, so the story behind why all these big stompy robots are beating the crap out of each other, summed up in very little detail, actually, because there's source books about it. The Star League was a huge interstellar empire. It was the golden age of humanity. Mankind had learned how to travel faster than light and had gone out and colonized many, many worlds. But what we never learned to do was communicate faster than light. Messages only traveled for the longest time at the speed of people, sort of like an interstellar Pony Express. And when we finally learned how to communicate FTL, it was in message packets. There was no, let's call the admiral back at the starbase and have a conversation. You wrote a letter or recorded a video, and it went from this planet to this planet. And then when this world got enough message traffic, it fired off a message to the next station and the next station. So feudalism became a thing again, because all of these people running these multi-planetary corporations, you can't just call up the home office to make a decision. And so the vice presidents or division leaders or whatever you want to call them on these disparate worlds had to get more and more autonomy. And after a while, it just sort of became dukes and barons and things like that. It didn't help that the Star League started handing out titles, much like the current titles that are handed out in the UK for art and science. And then those titles slowly morphed into real titles. So the ruler of the Star League was assassinated by one of his closest friends. And at the same time that that assassination went down, in shades of the Bolshevik Revolution, every member of the Cameron family with a drop of Cameron blood was wiped out at the same time by operatives of this guy, Stefan Amaris. So a war was fought to take the government back from Amaris the usurper, led by General Alexander Kerensky. General Kerensky was out on the periphery fighting against some resistance out there, and had to fight his way back to Earth through Earth's own defenses and bring the usurper to justice underneath the foot of his Atlas-class battle mech. So once the dust settled, the heads of the 5 most powerful noble houses each wanted to be the new First Lord of the Star League. And none could agree on who that was going to be. So Kerensky saw the writing on the wall, called up all of his armed forces and says, we're leaving. So 80% of the standing military of the Star League met one day over one of these planets and jumped to hyperspace, was never heard from again. Without a military to keep the peace, the House Lords went after each other. And they went after each other with every implement of destruction you can imagine an interstellar empire would have. Nuclear weapons, biological weapons, chemical weapons, entire worlds ceased to exist. And before anyone realized what was happening,
I was wondering if they had weaponized asteroids and comets.
I know they moved around big chunks of ice. At the time this was written, we did not know how much ice is actually out there, and so the authors posited that fighting over water was going to be a big thing. And so they learned how to move these huge ice asteroids for economic reasons that, yes, could be turned into terrible weapons. So what ended up happening was the House Lords went after each other with everything they had. And before anyone really understood what was going on, all of the primary targets, being population centers and weapons manufacturing centers and shipyards, had all been vaporized. And all of a sudden, these brilliant war machines everyone was fighting their wars with could no longer be built. As the infrastructure broke down, something really interesting happened with the phone company. So Comstar, the communications directorate of the Star League, was, at the time of the fall of the League, run by a guy named Jerome Blake. And Blake was a bit of a mystic. He kept a diary. And he wrote a lot of things that, after his death, were interpreted by his deputy director to be prophetic. And so Comstar slowly morphed into a religious order, where at the time we're playing, centuries later, the adepts that work the only way to communicate faster than light from one planet to another honestly believe if they don't recite these litanies, the machine won't work. Because for generations, they've been taught that. Comstar is neutral. Mech warriors who serve as mercenaries often negotiate their contracts with Comstar mediators. No one will cross the phone company, because when you do, you get interdicted, and now you can't communicate with the worlds you rule. So they're sort of the Catholic Church, in a way, in the setting. They have their own intelligence apparatus. They are everywhere, and they are supposedly neutral. So the mech warriors themselves, The battle mechs that your characters will be driving once we start role-playing have most likely been handed down parent to child for a couple of centuries. That 20% of the Star League military that didn't leave with General Kerensky tended to just go home and take their equipment with them and plant a flag and say, "This I will defend." A lot of these mech warriors ended up becoming low nobility themselves because a baron or a duke somewhere would go, you and you have these giant war machines. You come work for me. I'll pay your upkeep and your room and board, and you fight in my name. And so mech warriors are a bit like knights in a lot of ways. There's always the mercenaries who are a little less noble in most cases and fighting only for money. But the houses still, 3 succession wars later, maintain their own armies and their own troops. But a lot of those troops are fighting with centuries-old equipment. A lot of fighting is done over parts depots that are uncovered from time to time.
Yeah.
And there are rigid rules of warfare, which, just as they did in our own medieval history, actually don't solve anything. No one attacks faster than light starships because only a handful can be built each year. No one attacks the hyperspace communications because Comstar will interdict you if you do. There are these rules of chivalry. I will beat the hell out of your mech, but I'm not really going to try to kill you or destroy your mech completely, because if I capture you, you can be ransomed back to your side. Because if I'm not trying to kill you, you're not trying to kill me, and therefore our line and our mechs will continue. And so it turned into the sort of ritualized warfare you would see, where at the end of the day, when the sun started going down, everybody would go, okay, time out, let's all go fix our stuff, we'll see you again tomorrow. And in many cases, nothing got done. There was this point at which an entire planet might be garrisoned by 4 battle mechs, because those mechs would stand by the only drinkable water on the whole planet, and just sort of, that was the only thing worth a damn on this whole world. A company on company or 12 on 12 mech fight was a pretty big deal. And it wasn't until just after the time period where we'll be playing that people realized we can move more troops than that if we really want to. It'll gut our economy. We'll have to pull ships off of carrying foodstuffs and other supplies, but we could move a division if we really needed to. And things started getting nasty from there. But for tonight, we're going to learn how to maneuver and fight these big stompy robots. So Battletech is not really that complex until you get into the full rule set. The full rule set being about 5 300-page hardcovers like this. Because over the years, they have added rules for everything from the individual infantrymen. Oh, you want to see it? Everything from the individual infantrymen all the way up to what they call Inner Sphere in Flames, where you are playing an entire great house.
Yeah.
There are rules for playing the whole shebang, everything.
Like there's a doctrine division.
Yes. It's pretty killer. We used to play the old board game version, which was sort of like Axis and Allies on steroids.
Yeah, I remember that.
Succession Wars is what that
Yeah.
one was called. But the current version, you almost need spreadsheets if you want to really make it work. But this is the beginner rules. This is the full rules, and that's as far as you really need to go. You can get all of the advanced rules, which are meant to be taken a little bit of a time. I don't know anyone that runs with every advanced rule in the book at all, ever. Because some of them you'll never use, like counting how many rounds it takes for a forest to burn down after you've set it on fire. Some of them are for detail.
Yeah.
Like, in a normal game, if your medium laser gets hit, that laser is out until it's repaired or replaced. There are advanced tables that say, oh, you just knocked the alignment out, it loses a couple hexes of range. Or, oh, the cooling jacket is damaged, it'll generate extra heat when you fire it.
Right.
So you can get that kind of granular detail out of Battletech, but you don't necessarily need it to play. Me personally, I kind of like a little of that detail, because during this time period, because parts are so rare, this is the original technical readout with the BattleMech designs in it from 1986. And if you read through some of the descriptions of those mechs, there's usually 1 or 2 notable pilots mentioned for each mech. And it'll say something like, oh yeah, Major Green, you can tell his mech when it comes on the field because it's had a limp in its left knee actuator for the last 10 years. things like that happened because parts were hard to find. So this book has, of course, been replaced by newer versions with different artwork, but this is my baby. I've had this since like 6th grade. So I have multiple copies of it, too.
Mm-hmm.
So, the basics. There are 4 general classes of battle mech: light, medium, heavy, and assault. Light battle mechs are anything up to 35 tons in weight. Medium go up to 55, heavy up to 75, and 80 or above are assault mechs. Within those classes, there are many different designs. There are 55 mech designs in that book alone, and that was just the first one of many. And each of those mechs has variants because, sort of like the Millennium Falcon, once a pilot gets their hands on a mech, they tend to make changes. Some of those variants are production models, and some of them are one individual person who decides to swap some piece of equipment for another. The construction system is something a lot of players love to play with. You have weight and space, and you balance the two with every component of the mech to build the mech you want. The conventional wisdom on designing your own mechs is speed, armor, firepower. Pick any 2, because you're not going to get all 3.
All 3, yeah.
The 55-ton weight class gives you the best balance because the engines are sort of on a exponential curve. The bigger the mech, the bigger the engine. But once you get past 55 tons, the engines grow a lot faster than the mechs do. So the 55-ton mediums tend to be the most balanced, but you can get a lot more speed out of a much lighter mech and a lot more weapons on a much heavier one. So I am going to pass around these mech sheets. These are the beginner mech sheets. I'll pass these 2 across. These are the beginner mech sheets so that everybody can see what a starter mech sheet looks like. That's a Thunderbolt. Griffin. 2 Wolverines. So each of you can look at one of those. Although those are both slightly different models of Wolverine. So, this is the basic mech sheet that will tell us what the mechs you're going to be piloting can do. The game is divided up in the basics in 3 sequences, or 3 phases. The sequence will have the initiative phase. Each team rolls off. It's team-based initiative. And when you gain initiative, you will end up moving last and firing first. Mostly because having tactical knowledge of where your opponent's going to end up is the benefit in the game. So unlike D&D where you want to move first, in Battletech, you kind of want to move last. If it's team-based, as it will be if we split you guys into 2-on-2, then the team that loses initiative will move one of their mechs. Then the winner will move one, then move one, move one. So, initiative phase, we go from initiative to movement. You'll see that in the mech data square, it'll say your mech's type, and then it'll say movement points. There should be 3 entries: walking, running, and jumping. Do I need to rotate that?
Yeah. And then illustrate it.
Right, okay. So, walking, running, and jumping. All mechs have walking and running movement. Some mechs do not have jumping movement. That requires jump jets to be installed on the mech. And the difference between the 3 movement modes is as follows. Walking, your mech is moving within the sort of cruising power output of your reactor. You have that many movement points to spend, and we'll talk about spending them in a second. Walking, of course, spoils your aim a little bit. It makes your attack rolls 1 point harder. It'll make your opponent's attack rolls harder depending on how far you move. Running is pushing your power plant to its maximum. You'll move about half again as far, and it does make you harder to hit again depending on how far you moved. Jumping is an interesting animal.
Are you able to shoot when you are running?
Indeed you are. However, the shot will be a little harder than walking.
Okay.
Jumping makes your shots really hard to hit with. But the neat thing about jumping is you can clear any terrain. Trees will slow you down. Going up and down hills will slow you down. Water will slow you down a lot. But with jumping movement, you just go right over whatever it is you're trying to jump. And while turning costs a point of your movement, you can land facing any direction you want to face when you're jumping. The problem with jumping is it spoils your aim by 3 points, and we're rolling 2 6-sided dice, so 3 on that curve starts to get severe pretty quickly. And when we start playing with the full rules, you have to worry about heat. These things are run by fusion engines, and everything you do produces heat bleed off. So jumping builds up the most heat of the 3 movement styles. Sometimes, though, jumping can be the thing that gets you into the position you need to be in. If you're desperate, you can do what we call a DFA, or death from above attack, where you land your mech on an enemy mech.
Yes.
You're just as likely to damage yourself as you are the enemy, but if you're desperate, it can be useful. So that is where we find our movement points. So I will now illustrate how we spend them. Here is what a Battletech map sheet looks like. And we will put this catapult down here to demonstrate movement. So the catapult is a heavy mech. It is not especially swift. It has a walking movement of 4, a running movement of 6, and a jumping movement of 4. So, simplest terms, 1 movement point moves you 1 hex. So if the catapult declares that it is walking, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we usually teach to have people call out their movement points as they're spent, so everybody can kind of keep an eye on what everyone else is doing. If I wanted to turn, each hex I turn costs me a movement point. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I wanted to move in reverse, I could do that as long as I'm only using walking movement points. So I could go 1, 2, 3, 4 if I wanted to. The restrictions on reverse moving is only while walking and not while changing levels. If you're going up or down a hill, can't do that when you're going backwards. Trees will slow you down.
What about jumping? How much does that cost?
We'll get to jumping here in just a second. So trees will slow you down. A light woods, and thank the maker, all of these modern maps have the woods clearly designated as light or heavy. On the old ones, you had to look at the artwork and sort of make an educated guess. We got to the point where we would tell everyone to count the number of little happy little trees, and if it's 3 or more, it's heavy woods. Woods cost an extra movement to enter if they're light, and 2 extra movement if they're heavy. So the catapult would have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's as far as I could get. And with the heavy woods, it would be 1, 2, 3, and because there's another light woods hex in front of me, I'd just have to stop there.
Right.
Can't jump?
You can. With
1 point?
With jumping movement, it's simply 1 point per hex and land facing any direction you want to land. So the catapult has 4 jumping MP. He could clear all of these woods, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then land facing any direction that's advantageous to him. Now his aim is going to suck this round because he's automatically got a +3 to his target numbers, which we will get to here in a second. So when we play, every player is going to have 1 black die, 1 white die, and 1 red die. What are those for, you may ask? Well, the neat thing is, these were a house rule that players have been using for years. Now it's an official rule to the point that they told us what color die to use. They're called movement dice, and they serve 3 purposes. The first purpose for the movement dice is to tell us that a model has moved. In larger games, sometimes you don't remember if an opponent has moved his mech yet or not, and that can be pretty darn important when you're deciding where to put yours. So, what will happen is the pilot of this catapult will say, okay, I'm going to use walking movement. That means he's going to leave a white die behind. I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. On the back of your rules packet, there's a little cheat sheet here. Under Attack Modifiers Table, and I will put this down here so it can be seen on camera. Under Attack Modifiers Table, you will see Target Movement Modifier, and it says moved 0 to 2 hexes, nothing. Move 3 or 4 plus 1, and etc. on up to 10 or more.
Right.
So what you will do is this mech moved 4 spaces, not 4 movement points, 4 physical spaces, and that is a +1. So the player is going to put the white die with the +1 next to their model. We usually try to put it in the front arc just so you can remember which direction things are facing. With models, it's not hard, but we play with cardboard standees a lot because we can custom print them,
Yeah.
and sometimes you don't know which way's the
Yeah.
front. So this tells us 3 things. It tells us this model is moved. The white color of the die tells the pilot he walked this turn, which is always the same modifier no matter how far you go. If you walked, it's +1. So that tells the pilot that. And if you're shooting at this mech, it tells you it moved far enough to get a 1-point modifier to spoil your aim. So let's take a look at, well, we'll get into gunnery in a second. So
sorry, the attacker and the target.
the color is the speed this mech moved, like walking, running,
Yeah.
jumping. The dot represents the distance. So my aim is spoiled by 1 because I walked. Your aim is spoiled by the number on the die because of how far I moved.
Gotcha. Okay.
I really haven't been paying attention.
So in this situation, you are attacker, and you're looking at the attacker for.
But if
And I'm
I'm
looking at the
shooting,
target.
I look at that color, and that tells me what my attacker modifier is.
All right.
If you're shooting at me, you're looking at the number, and that's
Okay.
what the defender modifier
All right.
is. So, let's see. Oh, I moved my sheet. That's what I did. So, the movement dice are white for walking, black for running, red for jumping. And if you'll notice, it always says jumping is +1 to whatever else is going on as far as distance. Or does it say that? That's the rule. I'm looking to see. Did they take that out for
Maybe they did.
the
Tutorial?
the tutorial? They might have.
Jumped movement +3.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's for the attacker only.
That makes it easier to hit.
So I guess they took it away for the movement. In full-on BattleTech, jumping mechs will be 1 point harder to hit given their distance modifier. But I guess that doesn't appear in here, so in the beginner box, I guess we won't use it.
So it's basically the same as if you'd walked that distance.
Right.
Yeah.
So in the full-on game, it does make you a little harder to hit, and a lot of people will jump to get defensive modifiers. Or little mechs like this will just tear ass across the field to
Yep.
get a whole bunch of modifiers. The only thing that I will throw out there about movement dice, now that we've discussed them, is when you see a white die with a 6 on it, that usually means that person stood still.
Right.
Because there is not a mech in the game that can generate 6 points while walking. So this is the I stood fast.
Yeah.
Why would you stand fast? There's several tactical reasons to do it, but if your team loses initiative, if you've got a mech, for instance, this Awesome. Awesomes are ponderously slow, but they have heavy firepower. So they like to find a nice shooting nest and sit there. So if I've got my Awesome in this heavy woods hex, and I'm dumb, fat, and happy, because I'm going to be harder to hit because I'm standing in heavy woods, but I can shoot at you guys all day. And I want to stand fast, but my buddy that I'm teamed up with is a Locust. We just lost initiative. That means we have to move one of our mechs first. I'm going to call the Awesome because everybody knows he's just going to sit there. I'm not giving up any intel to your team about what we're going to do by saying, well, he's going to stand where he's at, because we all knew he was going to do that anyway. Always try, even when you lose initiative, try to leave your fast movers for last. Or if you're messing with somebody, if this mech could break one way or the other, leave him for last just to keep your opponent guessing. Losing initiative is not always the end of the world, but it can be.
Let's run through a round of movement.
Sure. Okay.
So assign us each a.
So, what do you guys have on those? We got
have
2 Wolverines
Yep.
Yep.
and on 2 Locusts. All right.
Ooh, interesting.
So here's a
So
Wolvie.
fairly fast. The
I've got
Wolverines
a-
are quick. The locusts are fast.
Mech Warrior data. I've got a Locust.
Yes. So I'm going to put one of these sheets down here so that it's still on camera, so I can point out the locations.
It's not on camera there. So we have this camera down here.
Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. I thought we had one shooting
What you
straight
want
down.
to do is put that up
Oh, up.
like this.
Oh, up like this. Okay, then I can't see where I'm pointing, but I'll do my best. Okay, so let's since we're not fighting, we're just demonstrating movement. Pass everybody a white die, and then a black die, and then a red die. All right. So, here's one locust. And then this commando will stand in for the other locust. And then this is a wolverine. And we'll have this griffin stand in for the other wolverine. So, considering that this team is ridiculously outgunned, this would probably be a reconnaissance element running into a screening element. So what we would do is, if we're dividing it 2 here and 2 here just for the sake of running a movement round, one person on each team would toss 2 dice for initiative.
One person on each team would toss 2 dice for initiative.
Right,
Where-
so that's a
which would be
7.
one, Jim?
D6.
2d6, yes.
Yeah, I already did it.
Okay.
And a 7, that's a roll-off.
Whoa.
So we go again?
Yep.
What are the odds?
9 and
And
11.
11.
So this team has initiative. That means your team will have to elect to move one of those mechs first.
Let's see. So mine, if that one on the left, I think we both have 5, 8, and 5 movement.
Yeah, we both got
Which
Wolverines.
one do you want to take?
Let's see.
I've got the locust.
Well, we both do.
I feel like
Oh.
we would move.
We
this
need
guy
2
in-
locusts.
we
Yeah,
move
I've
this
got
guy in
one.
here,
We've only got the one.
And
They're both representing locusts.
sit, or just not move
Unless
at all,
you've got others.
because it's a pretty decent place to.
I've
to
got a
start
card
out,
stock
right?
standee that'll replace
I'm
a
also
locust.
wondering about moving that guy.
But that, like I said, that
So-
can,
This is good enough.
Why don't you give us a
To them
different
having to
card?
shoot through the trees.
we could do that.
I've got.
Sorry?
You've got a locust card, and I've got a locust.
Thinking about moving him closer.
Right,
to
I'd given
through
you
the
guys similar
trees
cards,
to-
so it'd be
If I move
easier to.
at all, that reduces my
There's the
ability
commando.
to shoot.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
So
Move
Is this the commando?
My guy
No.
into kind of like
Is this it?
woods defilade there. I'm
No.
looking at the.
It'll say
armament.
commando on it.
Well, okay.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure where. Is that? No, that's a griffin. 2 griffins.
So if we move,
A thunderbolt.
You don't have. Well, let's just use a
if
locust
you
figurine.
move
Sure.
at all, then if we move at all, then we take a hit on our targeting.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But if you, and so if we move at all, we should move 3 or 4 in order to
So there you go. You're maximizing the numbers.
Yep.
or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. Honestly,
All right.
actually, that's
There's
a
the
good
other
bet.
locust.
Or we actually we should move 5.
Yep. No, I
Because
agree.
that-
Well, that bothers me
improves.
because I'm supposed to have a card.
So,
You could just
1,
jump
2,
the trees.
3.
The jumping is still 5. The running is.
Where could it have gone?
That notepad.
One of them
that
have
white
it?
notepad.
What are you looking for?
No.
There's a
On the
notepad
table. Yeah,
over
move
here.
that.
Several of them.
Is this what you're looking for?
No, I'm looking for another one of those cards that we passed out to you guys.
Do
There's
either
a
of you have the commando? Or
there's
you
a
both
commando
have-
missing.
We both have.
We both have
Wolverines.
Wolverines.
And we both have locusts.
Locusts.
So it's kind of a locust Wolverine battle.
Yeah, which is interesting.
Could be fun.
In and
Yeah.
of
The
itself.
commando should be here somewhere. That bothers me that I can't find it. All right, so you guys have to
You have to move somewhere.
declare movement for one of your mechs.
Move 7 to man. That I was gonna. So one of us should run, jump or run.
All right. I say
Stick
you
it back in
take
the
it.
box.
You can reach it.
Where do you want to go?
All right, so declare if you're walking, running, or jumping.
I think walking.
Walking,
Okay, so you've got
Okay.
5 movement points to spend.
because I'm.
Unless you want to jump.
Yep, that does put. It's going to be the same walking or jumping
Yeah.
as far as the modifier. The only thing that's going to give the better modifier was running,
Yeah.
as far as being a target.
I say we go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
How do you like that?
I'm good with that.
So how many actual hexes did you cross?
We crossed. Oh, so it's the only
hexes.
actual hexes we crossed.
Actual number of hexes.
So you started here, so it was 1, 2, 3.
3 is worth a +1.
Oh, all right. I'm glad we did this because I thought that we were getting +2 by doing that.
Right. Remember, it's the number of hexes you
Alright.
move rather than the movement points spent. So
Alright.
trees will slow you down, water slows you down, hills slow you down.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so they've moved 1. Now you guys have to declare
Which one?
which mech you want to move.
Which figure?
And what is our
I'll
goal
go-
here?
I'll
Is
do
our
the
goal to
standard.
destroy
Okay.
the other?
Your goal would be to destroy the enemy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this would be a very one-sided battle, but we're just we're demonstrating movement at the moment. We'll mix it up a little bit better.
I'm gonna do a walk.
Walk this way.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
And
Now,
little locusts move.
so you're going to put a white die down showing that you walked and you moved.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So that's also going to be a +1 on the table. Keep this in front of me. Now I'm wondering where the other cards went. Okay. So,
Hold on. I feel like it should have been 5 that you moved. Where did you start? Because you did 1, 2, 3, 4,
It
5,
takes
6.
you
2
start-
to get into this.
I understand.
One,
Yeah, I
two,
understand.
5, 6. So yeah, that would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Ah, okay.
And 5 would bump you up to a +2. All right, now your team needs to move their other mech.
So I have a quick question.
Yes.
In this, it looks like it's saying 5 to 6.
I'm just going for it.
Ah, yeah.
We've got.
Is that a total of 3? Walking plus moving 2 hexes? Is that a total of 3 or a total of just 2?
So I just went for it.
Okay. We'll explain in just a second when we get to. So, it's
Sit
2 to be shot at, but it's 1 to shoot at someone else.
Ah,
Okay. So, now we got to move the last one. So, you have to declare if you're walking, running, or jumping, and then spend your movement points appropriately.
I will declare that I'm jumping, and I will.
Oh, wait, does the Locust have jump jets?
no,
I'm
it
sorry.
does not.
Oh, I don't have jump jets.
You have to look here. This is your movement.
Oh, jumping says 0.
Yeah,
Walking
so
and
there's
running.
no jump jets on a Locust. I forgot about that.
All right, so I will move
Are you running?
1, 2, 3. I'm just walking.
You have to turn in order to do that. You didn't turn.
Oh, 4, and then 5.
Okay, so you're standing behind the woods, which is a good place to be.
Yeah.
So you moved 1, 2, 3, which would be a white die showing a 1. So that brings us to a
So
fire
the rotate
phase.
doesn't. When you rotate,
It doesn't give you any cover.
it doesn't. But it doesn't change this die any.
Right. It doesn't change that die any when you rotate. It's
Okay.
only the distance you move that changes the die. All right, so we're set up for a combat round, and we'll explain how that works. Under mech data, underneath the movement points, you'll see a weapons inventory for your mech.
Yeehaw!
That shows the weapons that you've got to play with. It has the quantity of weapons, how many of them are there, the type of weapon, the location of the weapon, which becomes important when you start blowing the pieces off the other person's mech, the damage that the weapon does, and then it has 3 numbers, short, medium, long. That is the ranges of the weapons. Each weapon has a slightly different range profile. And you see above that, where it says short, medium, long, it has range modifiers, +0, +2, +4. If you're firing within the short range of your weapon, your shot doesn't get any more difficult. If you're firing at medium range, it's +2. If you're firing at long range, it's +4. So long range attacks get more difficult.
So sorry, the number that's underneath short, medium, or long is the how much damage it does.
No, that's how many hexes,
How many hexes?
that
it-
range is.
Okay, that's how. All right.
The damage is under DMG.
So if I'm going to shoot a
Okay.
laser that has a long range, it's going to have a serious lack of damage because it's cutting through atmosphere or.
Well, the
Not
damage
necessarily.
doesn't change. The ability to hit changes.
Okay.
Now,
Good
in one of
miss.
those 300-page extra rule books, there is rules for weapons degrading like that, but a lot of people don't use them. In the standard game, it does the same damage at long range as it does at short. It's just much harder to hit with. So, on that cheat sheet, on the back of the packet, you'll see there's a box on the left-hand side right underneath sequence of play that says Gator. Gator is a mnemonic to help you remember how to calculate your hit rolls. G starts with your gunnery skill rating. For everybody,
Underneath the picture of the mech.
yeah, for everybody at this table, that is 4.
Yep.
4 is the standard gunnery skill
Okay.
for a mech warrior in the basic game. So that would be gunnery skill 4. So you start with 4. Attacker movement modifier. That's done by the color of the die on your mech. Everybody walked, so that's going to be a +1. So your shot's now at 5. T, the target movement modifier. That's the number showing on the die of the person you're shooting at. So let's say the locust was going to take a shot at this Wolverine. So that would now become 5/6. O is other modifiers like terrain. Well, going center hex to center hex, actually, it doesn't clip, does it? No, I guess the heavy woods doesn't clip from there, but the light woods does. So the light woods would add 1 more point, making it
A 7.
a 7, and then there R is range modifier. So you count the hex the enemy is in, but not the hex you're in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's actually out of range for the medium laser on the locust. So
So it's the numbers, and then it would be 10 because you're counting the one that your opponent is.
right, 10 is out of range. I should have said that out loud.
Yeah,
Not
okay.
everyone knows a medium laser ends at 9 hexes. It's just
Okay.
reflex.
Okay,
Yes.
but the number, the range demonstrated there is 10.
Yes, the range demonstrated there is 10. So the locust wouldn't be able to hit at that range with the medium laser, and the machine guns only have a range of 3. Why would machine guns be useful? We'll wait till infantry comes on the field. Then you'll find out why machine guns are
But
useful.
my Wolverine's
Get in
large
someone's face.
laser, which has a medium range of 10.
Yep. You might have a shot. So, G, that starts at 4 for your gunnery of 4. A, 1 point, so 5.
Yeah.
T for target movement modifier, 1 point for 6. O, other modifiers. The locust is not standing in woods, but there's woods between you, so +1 is 7. And then R for range, medium range, 8, 9. You would need a 9 to tag the locust with your laser.
And how many dice am I rolling?
Two 6-sided dice.
Okay.
2d6.
So that's not a high percentage.
No, it's not. The numbers can get high real fast in this game.
Yeah.
And there was a design reason for that. There are people that will talk about each of these hexes represents 30 meters, right? So a medium laser has a range of 270 real-world meters, which is nothing for a modern weapon. And so people will complain about that. Why can battle mechs only shoot 270 meters? Well, because the game designers wanted you guys to eventually get close enough to pummel each other with giant steel fists. So they designed the game that way. There's an old saying that every time someone brings up physics in BattleTech, God kills a kitten. So don't do that. So now we know how to calculate out the ranges for the weapons. So what we can do.
Do we roll initiative again?
Yes, you would do that again, but that would be after everyone has declared and taken their shots.
Oh,
Right.
Which we probably, now that you guys know how to calculate numbers and move your mechs, we probably want to reset with even teams instead of 2 locusts over here.
I mean,
Okay.
I think
Oh,
we'll
you
go
wanna
for-
just play it
for-
through?
for demonstration?
For fun?
Okay, so your team won initiative, which means you guys would get to shoot first, except this mech's out of range. And that one may or may not have a shot with all those woods.
so you,
Okay,
can
how-
move, you can't move
These
anymore.
are going to count as
Not
more,
this turn.
These are going to count as more range.
No, they'll add to the modifier. If you take a look, light woods is +1 per intervening hex, and another +1 if the target is standing in light woods.
Yep.
That's under attack modifiers table. Heavy woods are +2. And in the standard rules, if there's ever 3 or more points worth of woods, you just can't see each other.
Right. You don't have line of sight.
You don't have line of sight. So let's look at the range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You are within long range. So run the gator. 4 for your gunnery skill. Your movement modifier is 1 because your die is white, so that's a 5. Target movement, 6, 7. Other modifiers, this is right down the line. So, actually, it's a little to this side of the line. So 8, 9, and then range, 10, 11, 12, 13, which drives it over what you can roll on 2d6.
Yeah.
So that would be an impossible shot.
Where did you get the 12, 13? Is that all the modifiers?
Plus
for
4 for range.
For range. So, since it's so far
'Cause
away.
it's a long range.
Exactly.
Right.
It's a long range shot.
So it's plus 4 for the range, and then what about, was the trees any sort of
Okay.
modifier?
So you start with a 4 for your gunnery skill. That's the G. A is attacker movement, plus 1 because he walked. T is target movement, plus 2 for the value on this die. So now we're at 4, 5, 6, 7.
7.
O for other modifiers. That counts the trees. 2 hexes of trees is 2 more points, 8, 9. And then R is range. Long range is worth 4. So that becomes a 13 and therefore an impossible shot. So
So they have no shots.
the locust, they have no shots. We know that you have a shot with your large laser.
And then you, hold on, so you've got
close enough?
1,
I've got
2,
4.
3, 4, 5. So how do we count this, right? I mean, as it clips those woods, right? 6, 7,
So that would
8,
that's going to be
9.
that's going to be 9 hexes of range with 3 points of woods between you.
It's an impossible shot.
It's
That's
not
not.
going to be easy.
Is it?
So you're at long range. That's you've
No,
got the
you've
Wolverine
got-
with the auto
Hold
cannon,
on,
right?
you've got a. What,
Oh, wait, I
what
do.
weapons do you have?
I do have the autocannon.
So that's medium range.
Yeah, you are in medium range, 5, 10, 15. So
Yeah.
let's see. Gunnery 4. You walked 5. His movement 6, 7. 3 points of woods 8, 9, 10. Medium range 11, 12. You could hit on boxcars.
Yeah, I could.
So
12.
do you want to
Medium range
take? Do you
12.
want to take that shot?
What do we lose by taking the shot and
Ammo.
missing?
Ammo.
How much ammo do we have?
Infinite.
Infinite ammo?
No,
Do we have
With
infinite ammo?
energy weapons, that's true. With that
Lasers.
auto
20
cannon,
shots.
you got 20
Got
shots.
20 shots. Why not? Take the
I
shot.
mean, it's a demo, so
Take the
Yeah,
shot.
take the shot.
take
Roll
the
it on
shot.
roll it on the grass. You can do it.
Nope.
5.
Miss.
Bop, bop. That's a miss.
Yeah.
All right, and
It's
you
a big
needed
ol'
a
miss.
9 for your laser.
Yeah,
is that what
right?
is that what we figured out?
So let's go ahead and run the numbers again. Gunnery
Yes.
of 4.
You needed
You
a 9.
walked 5. His movement 6.
Yeah.
Range was
medium.
1 point of trees,
Yeah.
and so 7, and range is medium 8, 9. You need a 9 to hit.
Don't I add an extra 1 because he's standing in Lightwoods?
He's not.
He's not
That's a
standing
clear-
only if he's
clear
actually
hex.
inside.
If he's actually
the-
Right.
standing in it.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So I need a 9. And I did not get
And
a
that's
9.
Snake Eyes. At which point, old school 2nd edition Mech Warrior people would yell, "Skill point!" Because you tallied skill points for every 2 and 12 you rolled.
Okay.
Nice.
So,
To any end or just
all
for
the
fun?
shots have been taken. Yes, because your character get better based on accumulation of skill points.
Gotcha.
So, at this point, the round is over. In full-on BattleTech, we would account for heat right now. But
Yeah.
in beginner box, we're not worried about heat. Just know that that's what would happen at this moment. Because you asked what happens if you take the shot and miss. Ammunition weapons tend to generate much less heat, but you only have a certain number of shots.
Right.
Lasers never run out of shots, but tend to accumulate a lot more heat. Especially when you get to the big boys, the particle cannons. 10 points heat.
Ooh.
So, the next thing that happens is we clear our movement dice. That lets us visually know that the round is starting over again. And then one person from each team rolls initiative.
Can we do it this time?
Yeah.
So we're starting Gator over again?
We're starting the round over again. So that's an 11, and that's a 10. Your team has
Damn.
initiative. Their team must choose a mech to move first. And this is where the speed of the Locust comes in real handy.
Oof.
I believe this would be a great opportunity to talk to you guys really quick before you do movement about firing arcs. Where exactly can the mech shoot? So, the front arc of a battle mech, for the purposes of the beginner box, are anything this hex, front, and these adjacent hexes. You can fire at anything in that angle outward. Again, that changes slightly in the advanced game
Mhm.
because you have to take into account the arm-mounted weapons
Right.
that can fire a little further to either flank.
But so as we're moving, we also need to take into account our firing arc so that we don't just
Mhm.
move up towards something and
Then you can't shoot it.
we can't shoot it. Yeah.
And in the advanced game, there's an extra location for the back of the mech, which tends to be much more thinly armored. So mechs like the Locust generally try to get behind the bigger mechs and plink them in the weak armor.
Right.
But this is the front arc for the purposes of learning the game. So,
All right. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna run
Yeah. I'm thinking
One,
about running.
2, 3, 4, 5,
6 to turn.
6, 7, 8.
wow. So you'll use your black die.
Use my
And
black die.
how many
I moved
hexes did
8
you actually
hexes, which means I moved.
Well, 8 movement points.
Oh.
But one of those at least was a turn,
Where
right?
was I?
And when
Where was
was
I?
this?
Was I here?
Mhm.
Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You first, since you're pretty much
So it was
in
one-
range, and then I can reveal my.
Let's see. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8.
So that's where I started. Where was I? 1, 2,
So
3,
you're
4,
gonna
5,
retreat.
6, 7, 8. So I started here.
And that's
Mhm.
advance.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You're gonna
You move
retreat
5
and I'm
spaces, which according to the
Is it 2?
is
So you
actually a
activate,
5
you
is
activate.
yes, it is a 2.
Yep.
You're right.
And
You're right.
She activates,
Okay.
and then I'll activate.
You're right.
And so that puts me like right
That
in
way
there,
I
and
do my movement
then
last,
depending
and
on
they
what they
can't
do,
adjust it.
you can come in and flank on
Right.
one side or the other.
Yes.
That's right, because we only have to move one.
That's our advantage for.
Mhm. So you only have to move the one right now. Now they have to
Mhm.
move
Here or
one.
here?
That'd be me.
Further up there.
Okay.
I was there,
Walking or running.
I believe.
I'm going to run.
That gives you 12 movement points.
And this costs 2,
Yes, 1, 2.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Mm-hmm.
8, 9,
Mm-hmm.
10,
You'd have to turn 10, 11.
10, 11.
Yep.
Okay.
You got one more point.
Oh, I got one more point?
You got one more point. I would
So-
either turn this way so that your cannon comes back around.
Yeah. Can I? Yeah.
Okay, 12. So you moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 total movement. That is worth a +3 on a black die.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, locusts can boogity.
Yeah, no, they're quick little buggers.
I believe that you
Alright.
activate now.
Yep.
Yep. Well, I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna run. So if I had to turn, again, that's 2 turns out of my run. No, it isn't. Because I run at 8, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, just to remember where I was, so we don't have like
Okay.
That's a good
again.
idea.
So, 1, 2,
Yes.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh.
Hold on. Wait. Can you? I don't think you can fire from there though, right? Or can you?
Yes,
Yes,
you can.
I can. That's my firing
It
arc.
comes
Oh,
out
yeah, because it comes
this
out that way.
direction.
All right.
That's
Cool.
within the arc.
All right.
All right, so
So
you
I
moved
did move-
7 hexes.
Yeah,
That's a
7
+3.
hexes, it's +3.
Excellent. You guys are in each other's faces, but you also both moved really fast.
Yes,
So,
which is cool.
All right. I am
And now
also
we
going
punch each other.
to. I'm gonna run.
order?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Boom.
Totally saw that coming.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's just nice
All right.
to see it happen.
So
Yeah.
mark the movement. So you were in the back arc, which
that
is
is a-
generally not a great thing. So you cannot return fire.
Yeah.
It would be important to note that large laser is in your right arm. So when we are playing with the full rules, your mech can actually crank it around to fire in that direction,
In the rear firing arm.
but cannot hit this hex. So basically,
It's actually
it
too
adjusts as if. Oh, you're right. That is close.
What's that?
He may not be able to get that laser around, even with the normal rules.
It's a new definition of danger close.
Yes.
Yeah, because you've got to be so far out, otherwise you're under range as opposed to, yeah.
And that's something that we'll deal with once some of these weapons come into the standard rules. There
Yeah.
are weapons with minimum ranges.
Yeah. Well, you have small arms and long arms and then actual guns and.
All right, so now their team won initiative, so they declare fire first.
Mm-hmm.
So, which one of you wants to declare your fire?
I will.
What are you? I would shoot Alpha Strike.
Yeah.
So you're declaring that you're unloading.
So how many hit points do you have?
See those little circles?
Yes.
I'm going to use my machine gun that does the most maximum damage. They're both the same, though. Can I shoot both
You
at
can
the same
fire
time?
all of them.
Okay, I'll fire all my machine guns and my laser.
Excellent move.
Okay.
Now
Now I'm in cover.
Wait, you can fire more
no,
than
you
one
stepped
thing
out
at
of
once?
cover.
Okay.
Wait, you can
Okay.
fire more than one thing at once?
Yeah, you can fire your whole inventory if you want. Don't get used to that, because once we turn the heat rules on
can't.
next time,
Yeah.
that becomes a bad idea.
What if I'm from a planet that's really hot?
Well,
Well,
if
it
you've
changes
got
the tactics a little bit.
impossible
If your
shots.
mech has
You
heat
should
sinks
do
built
that.
into its legs, you can
Blow
find
the
water,
smithereens.
park
Just
in the
different
water,
water.
and it helps cool your mech off. The problem is it messes with your mobility. Getting
No,
out of
well,
the
you're
water
targeting
is
You
hard.
just
hard.
jump out, right?
But because that
so-
requires movement.
Yeah. Okay. So you want to shoot. So run the Gator mnemonic.
That's
G
right.
is your gunnery of 4. A is the attacker movement modifier. That's going to be 2 because you ran. So 5, 6. T is the target movement modifier. 7, 8, 9 because of the distance that Wolverine covered. So now we're at 9. Other modifiers, none. There's no trees between the two of you. And range is +2 for the machine guns. So the machine guns need 11s, but the medium laser only needs a 9. So roll twice for each machine, once for each machine
Wait,
gun.
the machine guns are in medium range?
Yes, they have a 1, 2, 3 hex range.
All right. Oh,
So
okay.
you're rolling 11s for the
Oh,
machine
hold on.
gun, so roll twice.
Okay.
That's a miss.
Miss.
And that's a miss. Now you need a 9 to hit with the laser. And that's a hit.
Oh,
So now we have to do
Yay,
something we
damage.
haven't done yet, which is
Yay.
determine where the damage
the mech hit
goes.
location.
You're gonna
So
need
yes,
those
you guys see the mech hit location table on there.
Uh-huh.
Roll 2 dice to
2d6.
determine where the shot lands.
Can I aim right in the head?
Can't
Shoot him
aim.
in the head!
Nope.
Shoot him in the
That's
head!
what everyone would do if they could. That's where the
Nope.
cockpit is.
But nope.
Because how do you salvage a mech? You kill the pilot. 7,
Seven.
center torso.
Center
I don't even
torso.
need to look that one up.
Yep.
So that means
So
5
it's over
damage
here.
strikes that mech in the center
I need a
torso.
pencil.
And determines
Um,
where you hit.
Theoretically, you should be able to use one of these. I tested it earlier.
On this?
You
Yeah.
sure?
So it was 5 damage to the center torso?
Yeah, so just put
And-
dot in 5 of those.
Point out where I hit.
Gotcha.
But that's
You
me.
hit right here in the center torso.
That's
Because
me.
of that 2
Yeah.
to 7 down there?
No, it's me.
Oh, is
Oh,
that you?
that's you?
Oh, you're right. Sorry.
Yeah.
Because of the 2 to 7 right
Absolutely
here?
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's me. I got it.
So if I rolled a 3 or 4, I would have hit him in the arm.
Yeah, 3 or 4 is right arm.
Can I disable?
In fact, that's exactly what happens.
So here,
If a
you can
limb loses all its armor in the
mark
beginner
5
box
dots
game,
on
everything in that limb ceases to function.
Okay.
No guns, no movement. Losing a leg is
You'll
bad.
see
Yeah.
1, 2,
that.
3, 4, 5, 6,
It'll show
7,
your
21.
location.
So
Yeah.
25
weapon.
shots in the center torso.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you've got
I mean, I can
something
do it
in
like
the
this,
center,
too.
you've got a right arm, and you've
Yeah.
got a
Do
left
it
arm.
both ways.
That's where I shoot from, though. My
Yeah, but
laser's
if that
from the
gets,
center.
But if that gets disabled,
Oh, I see.
Yeah, if you
You
lose
can't
the
use the
arm,
laser.
you lose the machine gun in the arm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
No.
So now we get to declare a shot. And go ahead.
Actually, wait. When I'm sorry, when
Yeah,
we're resolving fire, the whole team that won initiative goes first.
Yes.
However, the effects
have
are
one more laser,
simultaneously.
right? Or no?
So
No, just-
Right.
I'd use it
if
for
they
three
were to
shots.
blow
Okay,
off your
these are a
arm,
little
you'd
bit
still
different.
get to use the weapons in that arm for this
That's gonna
turn,
be
and then they would be
Oh.
gone when the next turn
For the
starts.
next turn. Okay.
Okay.
the LCT.
So then, what's the advantage to firing first? I guess just so that they
It's really just movement. Yeah.
A little bit of difference.
In-
All right.
This kind
So-
of makes me want to go and check out the. They have a turn-based game.
Yes.
Online.
The one Harebrained Schemes just put out, the BattleTech game on Steam. It's well worth the money.
Yeah.
Well worth it. It's a little different than this, but it's close enough.
Right. I was seeing just from some of the gameplay videos, they had it in,
It's so cool.
in some of the lore videos that I was watching, and yeah, they were just playing it in the background.
And a lot of us
That's
tabletop
amazing.
players have been waiting for that game for years because it does what I hope that we might do when we get to the role-playing aspect in a couple weeks, which is you run your own mercenary company. So now you've got to worry about the beans and bullets. It's not just getting on the field and blowing up the bad guy. It's
Right.
can
Yeah.
we feed our infantry this week? Can we fix our mechs? Is our employer screwing us over?
All right.
So we can do like a
so
Kelly's
Dave,
Heroes.
So Dave, I think
Exactly.
it's your turn to shoot.
It's your turn to shoot. You're out of range for the MGs, but you've got that medium laser.
I got 2 medium lasers.
You do?
I do.
Is that an LCT-1E?
It is.
Ah!
Whoa.
So I was talking about variants. That's the variant that the Eridani Light Horse has. They're a famous light mech unit, and they love run and gun. They love it, which is why they put 2 medium lasers on that Locust.
Okay, so let me run through this so I
Yes,
get
go
it.
for it.
You've been autopiloting us.
All right, so the reins are on you guys.
All right, so I'm gonna start with gunnery skill, which is 4.
Yes,
Right. Attack modifier. That's mine.
that's your color die.
My color die. So that's run. So that is a +3. So I'm at 6.
Two.
It's a +2.
Yeah, jumping is +3.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the. All right.
Quite
+2.
all right.
So I'm at 5. Now I'm moving to target modifier. He's got 2 on his dice, so
Yes.
that's 7.
Mm-hmm.
No terrain is involved, so that's the only modifier that we have for this rule set.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm doing a medium range, so that's a 9.
Yes, you need 9s to hit, and you roll once for each laser.
Laser number 1.
7.
You got lucky.
Hmm?
And laser number 2. 5.
So
2 whiffs.
Ooh. Should we grab out those other
oh
die?
yeah.
Oh, here.
Let's go over there.
All right.
Dice.
Need some laser noises.
Destroy him, Andy.
Okay, so
Have some
So-
battle
we're
tech
doing this
laser
crazy
noises.
shooting all the things.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
for
you
right,
can
for right
unload.
now we're doing that, and I think on the next round we're going to talk about heat.
And you've got an SRM6 on there, right?
Yes, I do.
So that's going to be
Working
fun.
too well, is it?
Yeah,
I
so
s-
because I'm starting, let's see, so I got a 3 from his die. I got a 4
It's
from the gunnery
asteroids, is it?
skill.
Mhm.
I am, so that's a 7. I'm how far away?
Bet you I could find
2 hexes.
2 hexes, that's
That's good.
2, right?
Well, no.
It's
That
all-
depends on the range of your
If
weapon.
you have anything that has a longer range than you're short range on everything.
I'm short
Something
range on
thunderous.
everything.
Yeah.
So,
How
nothing.
about that? That's even more wimpy.
So,
Yeah,
I think that's it. So-
I just need a 7?
Yeah, you already got your G, which is your gunnery. That's
Yep.
4. Your A, you counted that. That's
All right.
2 points for your
Let me see what I
run.
can
So that's a
find.
6. Your T is the 3, 7, 8, 9.
Yep.
Oh, 7, 8, 9. And then nothing for range and nothing for other modifiers. You need 9s.
okay.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
you
so
can-
maybe
you
nine.
can
So you missed the
unload
2
with-
for your running.
Everything.
No?
That's
Sound
right.
like you're trying
Yeah.
to start a synthwave.
That's right,
band.
my modifier.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot my modifier.
Okay.
So, I need
Let's all look at the
He's
lasers.
on everything.
9s on everything.
So you get 1 roll for each weapon and call out which weapon you're firing before you toss the dice.
Okay.
Sorry, we're making noise.
So,
Well, there's only one microphone.
medium laser
That's
is
a miss.
Short arms. SRM 6
Ooh.
8, so close.
and the AC 5.
Miss.
Miss. All misses.
Oh,
misses.
that's heartbreaking.
I know.
All right. So,
Thank you.
no damage done this combat
Damn.
round. We now clear movement and go back to
Initiative?
You
initiative.
shoot like
Your turn.
stormtroopers.
That's right.
That's why one of the first things people tend to do with their role-playing characters is dump points into gunnery.
Right? Oh my gosh.
I must be better at this. So, initiative checks. 5. 9. You guys win initiative.
Yay.
One of the locusts. One of the locusts needs to move first.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, this
I'll
could be
go first.
bad. This is where you use those 8 to 12 movement points to DD.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should probably get back to cover.
DD Mal, most Ricky Tick.
You running or walking?
I'm gonna run 1. Right.
Okay, yes. Just
2.
blow right past. Because there's no
3,
attacks of opportunity
4,
in battle
5,
tech.
6, 7,
Okay.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Oh,
Okay.
hell.
So, place the black die. I think I counted 3 turns in there, so that would be a +3. Because that would be 9 hexes of movement.
Right, minus the turns. Yeah, there was
Right.
3 turns.
Yep.
All right, now you guys move one mech.
You move first.
I'm not
Because that
giving
one,
you
that yours is the one that's
Asps.
that one,
Very
right?
dangerous. You go first.
So, I'm gonna run.
Okay,
Like, I have to run again.
sure.
And this is.
I don't think
Is
you
this
do
anything?
have to run. I don't think you do have to run. What's your range? On your weapons?
It's not terrain that costs any movement.
I
Yes, it
understand.
does.
Oh.
If you go through terrain,
Yeah,
it does
terrain
cost
does
movement.
cost movement.
No, but it's not terrain that costs extra movement. It's just ones.
So,
She's just wondering if it's like because it costs 2. Is it trees?
Yeah,
is
is
that
is it
trees
hill?
or is that just
Is
a
it
weird
elevation?
wadi?
What is it?
this is just, it's not, it doesn't have light or heavy marked on it, so that's just wadi. It's just terrain.
Well, what is that sort of rough yellowish?
Yeah, I have
Just
long-range
decoration.
weapons.
You can
Alright.
jump
Because if
any
it was a
direction.
mountain,
So you can
it would
jump any
actually
direction.
say
This
level
might
1,
be an
level
opportunity
2.
for you to jump and then
Jump 5. You
Jump
can
5.
jump backwards, right?
yeah, you can jump any direction, right?
You can jump any direction. Jumping is a radius around your mech of 5 hexes.
But you can't turn and jump.
Yes, you can.
But
You
can't-
can move
can't-
any 5 hexes you want to move and land facing
So
any
you can
direction
go like
you want
1,
to land.
2, 3, 4,
Okay.
5.
Yeah, and then land facing
and
any
land
way you
facing
want
that
to.
way.
But remember, it's +3 to your target number.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's another +3, so that's 6. And 4, you'd be
So
rolling
that
for
might-
10s.
So that might not be as advantageous as running because then.
But how many hexes am I away from a target?
Well,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
6, 7. So that's going to be long range for your medium laser and your SRMs, and medium range for your autocannon.
So you know what?
That's,
Actually,
that's
I changed.
2 and
I
plus
changed.
4 modifiers.
I changed my mind. Let me go first.
Okay.
Whose
Yeah,
is
what-
this?
That is.
Yeah.
No, that's supposed to be there. His mech's already
Oh,
moved.
because you already
His
moved.
mech's
I'm
up-
sorry. My
His
bad.
mech already moved. It was a
It
3.
was a-
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why don't you
I'm just gonna go
turn
This is
around
me.
or get the hell out of
1,
dodge, or you can
2,
jump.
3,
I was gonna say jump behind
Okay.
him.
and
I just-
now do I did
Jump behind
was that 6 movement? Because
No, it
it's-
was not. Turning
okay.
is still 1 point, but you're
Okay.
standing in woods. That gives you a little cover where you're at.
Yeah.
You're just gonna
I'm
you
staying.
just
I'm
turn.
staying right the fuck
So
there.
take the white die, show a 6, because you're standing still. It still spoils your move because you trundled your mech around. You
Right.
spent movement points, but and you're standing in light woods, so you're going to be 1 point harder to hit. I do know some players that
Actually-
adjust the dice to show that, but I'm still not used to doing that yet.
Yeah.
So having players from 2 different groups at one table starts to like. So, your mech has moved. Now it's time for the other locust to move.
I'm gonna do a walk.
Okay.
One, two. Oops.
Yeah, you're facing the wrong way. You got it.
Was
One.
I facing? I was facing.
Yeah,
that
you're
way.
facing that way. So
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
okay. So you are behind him. He cannot shoot you. So
I'm gonna get pummeled.
place your movement die. That would be a black die for a run.
No, there's a walk.
Oh, it
It
was
was
a
a
walk.
walk.
You're right.
But you
And
started
And it
here,
was
right?
I moved 4
Right
hexes,
here?
so that's a
+1.
Plus 1.
so a 1, right?
Yep. You are the last one to move. Now you know where all the other players are going to be.
I say 1, 2, which gets you facing
Yeah,
3.
because I think I want to walk. So tempted to jump, but that
Well,
didn't jump
you should gang up
modifier.
on me.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah.
No,
you can come in
definitely.
here for a 5. What's your?
You get
So
me in
you've
a
got 2
crossfire.
weapons with a short range of 3 and one with a short range of 6.
Mm-hmm. That is
So-
1,
So
2,
here,
3, 4, 5.
so I would do the run and get closer so that
Yeah.
you're costing any. Well, it's not going to make a difference.
It's not
to
gonna
him,
make a
but
difference
it's
'cause
but it's
it's
going to cost.
modifier.
But it's going to cost you
Yeah.
1 extra move instead of 2 for the range,
So
or 1 extra roll.
1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
Mhm.
4, 5, 6,
7,
7.
and then turn. Or no, you're-
Yep, 7,
and then turn.
8.
Yep.
Or 7, 8. Nope, 7, 8.
So you started here, right?
Yes.
Okay. Because I want to show you something when the
1,
turn's
2,
over.
3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3 to turn. 4, 5, 6.
So you're
7,
counting
8.
distance?
Yeah.
Distance is going to be 4.
1, 2,
So
3,
it's a
4. Because
1.
we're landed 4.
So that's
So
a
it's
plus
black,
1.
black 1. All right. Now we have initiative, so we shoot first.
Yes. So who would like to light up whom?
I'm going to shoot the fuck out of that guy with everything I got. So let's see. Gunnery is 4. Attacker modifier is +1, so it's 5.
Mm-hmm.
Target modifier is +3, so that's an 8.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Terrain modifier is none, right?
Right. Because you're shooting out of those woods, that
And-
means nothing. Shooting into them, that'll be a penalty.
Okay. And range modifier is none. So I need an 8 to hit on everything. And I am attacking with medium laser first.
Okay.
That is
Miss.
a miss. I am attacking with SRM 6. That is a hit.
Excellent. Go ahead to the
Uh,
next weapon.
Large laser is a hit.
Excellent.
And medium laser is a miss. So
Okay.
I hit with the SRM 6 and the large laser.
So here's what happens when you're firing missiles. You'll see that there is a cluster hits table on your cheat sheet. Some weapons fire
Okay.
some weapons fire a number of things at once, and some of them will hit and some of them will miss. Anyone who's watched anime remembers like the Macross Missile Massacre.
Yes.
Right, where- So we take a look over the top and see the column that says 6. Roll 2 dice for me.
Why am I rolling on the dice the column that says 6?
It's an SRM 6.
Okay.
That means it's got 6 tubes, and for some
Gotcha.
strange
1, 5,
reason,
6.
missile
Okay.
launchers and BattleTech reload during combat. I don't.
So it's like
So
an MLRS.
I got a 6.
So we go look at 6 on the 6 table. That says 4, so 4 missiles hit. So what we're going to do
So
is
that's-
that locust is going to take 4 hits
At 2 per.
at 2 points per
2
hit
points per hit because that's what the thing says. Do you want to show this, Jim?
on the camera,
Yeah, on the camera.
where it shows the damage being 2 per missile. Yep. And I mean,
The red.
Yes.
So where do you point your finger?
so under the weapons, damage. So the lasers all have a set number, 5 or 8. However, the SRM-6 is 2 per missile. That means we roll to see how many of those 6 missiles hit, and each one of them will do 2 points of damage.
And this is the table that showed that I rolled
Yes.
on over here. So it was 6 across the top because
So-
it was the SRM 6. I rolled.
When,
I was not looking at the 6, the column that says 6, and I rolled a 6. So then I was looking at the row that says 6, which is 4 hits. So
So 4 2-point missiles are incoming. So you're going to need to roll the dice 4 times, and Jim will mark 2 points of damage. Do you have a 2 points of damage for each?
I roll the dice, and now I'm writing on the mech hit location, right?
We know this one works.
We
erase
know
it.
it erases. Yeah, we can just pass
Yeah.
the red around. And then it's red for
All right,
damage.
so
And it's red for
7 center torso.
So 2 points in the center torso location.
9 is left
Left
leg.
leg.
2 points in
2
left
points
leg.
to the left leg.
Another 9. Another 2 points to the left leg.
Another 2 to the left
And
leg.
another 2 to the left leg.
Oof.
Oh, and 2 more. That should only leave 2, I think, if that's a standard locust.
Yep, there's 2 more left in the left leg.
Ouch.
And now
I've been
I
doing
have,
this
and
too
then I
long.
also hit with the large laser, which is a damage of 8.
So roll to see where that
Rolling
lands.
to see where that lands. That is an 8,
That's
which
gonna be
is
left
the left torso.
torso. So 8 points to the left torso. That's going to hurt. So,
If the left torso gets blown off, does that mean that you lose the left arm as well?
yes, you
Left torso is totally blown off.
All right.
All right, that means the left arm is no longer functional. So that locust just took some severe damage. Now, what would happen in the full-on game? We might have gotten a roll for critical hits, like
Okay.
blowing up individual components inside the mech. Because on a full-on mech sheet, there are 2 little skeletons like that. That one is the external armor, but then there is a second silhouette for the internal structure.
Ooh.
In this version, when you breach the armor, it's done. But in the full version of BattleTech, when you breach the armor, you start damaging the soft stuff inside the mech.
Nice.
So you'll start doing things like blowing holes in the engine shielding so the mech gets hot, hitting the gyroscope so it can't stand up straight.
Yeah.
Or everyone's personal favorite, ammo bins.
Because then,
Right.
yeah.
Unlike a modern
Yeah.
tank, battle mechs don't have any blowout panels at this point in time. They added them later. But if you touch off, say, the machine gun ammo in that stock locust, smoking boots. So,
Smoking boots. That's my new name.
Smoking boots.
all right.
think
So
it's a
that
good
was
one.
one Wolverine doing the Alpha Strike thing. How about the other one?
So if I've done this right,
So we don't go back and forth?
No, on fire phase, the team with initiative fires, the team lost initiative fires. But remember, damage is simultaneous.
Simultaneous.
So you will still get to fire with that arm you lost this round. It's not considered to have been blown off till everybody shot their wad.
so if I've done this right, my G is a 4, my A is a 2
Yes,
for a 6, my T is a 3
yes.
for a 9, my range modifier is 0, my terrain is 0.
Right, you need 9s.
I need 9s. So,
Times 3.
yep. So, firing with the medium laser first.
Yes.
Miss. Firing with the AC5.
Hit.
That's a hit.
Excellent.
And firing with the SRM6.
10.
That's a hit.
So we roll on the cluster hits table, it's column 6.
Do we do that first? Or now I have a question. What
Is that your last
happens-
weapon?
Yeah, I've got medium laser, SRM6, and AC5.
Okay, so yes, we'd roll it now.
So I do have a question though. So when she rolls on location, if she hits the left torso, or the
It
left
transfers to the center torso.
arm, it transfers to the center
See the
torso.
arrows on the card?
Yeah,
Oh, gotcha.
that's
okay.
what those arrows are for.
All right.
So I'm rolling my cluster hits first
You want to
before I
show
roll.
the arrows on the card? There
Oh,
are
you-
arrows on the card.
Oh,
You
what?
mark it.
And that
Oh,
shows
can I
where
mark?
And I
that
will
shows
put-
where the hit transfers.
Yeah, I can do that.
If something has already
I
been
can mark
rolled
the
up.
damage.
No, I hold it.
All right.
Oh, okay, sure. So, let's go. Which weapon did you hit with first? The autocannon?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so, please roll a location for the autocannon. 7. That's
7.
going to be center torso.
Center torso.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So 5 damage to the center torso.
Got it.
Now I got to roll for how many
Number of
clusters.
Oh, it's a cluster,
Hit.
all right. 5.
5.
5. So you're looking on the cluster table. It's a weapon size 6, so that's 3.
3 hit.
3 hits. So give me 3 locations, please.
Center
7.
torso.
Center torso.
For 2.
Boom, boom. Almost done.
6
6.
is right torso, which
2.
transfers, and that takes that locust out.
And I still
You
roll
are
the last
smoking.
one.
Yeah,
boots
go ahead.
now.
Smoking boots.
10.
That
That was
is
the left arm.
left arm,
so that
which
would
was
have
already gone.
transferred.
Actually, no, the
into-
left arm is okay. It's the right torso that went away.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, but the whole thing is dead now, right?
yeah, when the center torso goes, the mech is considered a kill.
All right. So now,
I still get to shoot though.
Yes, you do get your fire this
Well, why
round.
don't you go first since you're getting ready to die?
I really like Wolverine.
Come on,
It's
Smoky
a
Boots.
it is nicely balanced.
Firing all at the same
Do some
time.
damage before they both jump me.
It
All
is it is nicely balanced.
So I'm gonna just blast away at this mofo right here.
Okay, so
It's like I was looking at my legs. I'm like, yeah, you can take all
Your
kinds
gunnery
of,
starts
oh,
at
no,
4.
You can't. Not when you're locust. Look at
plus
that.
2 because you ran.
Oh yeah.
6.
And
But it's still
then
got
he
some
stood
speed.
still, but he's in woods, so plus 1 for a 7. And you're at medium range for machine guns. So the machine guns need 9s, the laser needs a 7.
No.
Nope.
Oof.
Let's see about that laser. And that's
Oh,
a
that's
hit.
a hit.
Roll for location. 5 reliable points of damage. 2, 4. The right arm.
right arm. So I'm getting
Oh.
5. I need my.
The pen of death.
Okay. So 4. So what? How many was it to the right arm?
5 points.
5.
5 points to the right arm.
Yes,
oh, this
sir.
is backwards.
It is, and it's been that way since 1984.
It's stage left, stage right.
Yeah.
I guess. No,
Space-
it's not. It's
facing
not
towards
stage
you.
left,
Not.
stage right. It's as though he's facing away from me.
Facing,
Okay.
facing towards you, right?
Well,
Huh?
you're
He's,
in
lo-
it.
he's looking away
As
from
if
me.
you're sitting in the cockpit,
as if you're
so
sitting
right
in
is
the
okay,
right.
as if I'm
That's-
sitting
yeah,
in
you're
the
sitting in
cockpit,
the
looking.
cockpit. Yep.
I'm looking
Yeah.
this way through the
Yeah.
piece of paper.
Actually, flip that over. There's the cockpit
All right,
on that
fair enough.
particular card, yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay.
All right, well, that makes me feel a little bit better.
You get to shoot now.
Hooray! All right.
Ow.
Oh, he's only got about 80 more hit points, so it's not gonna do with 2 little lasers and a couple of machine guns.
Like I said, it was kind of
Are
an
we gonna-
unbalanced.
Are we gonna talk about heat and
I can talk about it when this engagement's over and tell you what we can expect.
Take
is
much
that a
It's
thing?
the-
Is that
yeah,
a thing that
yeah,
we would
it's
be doing
like
in this
that-
game though?
No, not in this game.
Not
Not
in
in the
this game.
beginner box.
Oh, not in the beginner box. Oh,
once
okay.
once
then
we
never mind.
move to this box.
Yeah.
All right,
we will
then,
start
then
dealing with heat.
forget it.
Yeah,
We
it's
don't-
one
we
more
don't need
thing
to
to
know
have
that.
to do. So for beginner wise, it's just less stuff you have to track, so you get
Sure.
used to movement and firing and all that, and then
Yeah.
you can start getting to the minutia of the operational foibles of the equipment. Now that you know how to shoot, move, and communicate, now you can get into the finesse of how you shoot, move, and communicate with that equipment with its pluses and minuses. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. That absolutely makes sense. And battle mechs have a lot of quirks. The ability to play so many different designs. No 2 mechs really play the same except for the Stinger and the Wasp. But anyway,
But yeah,
except for those 2, which are functionally but not entirely identical.
I don't even know saying that.
Okay, so clear movement.
clear movement.
This mech blew up.
I got to fire.
It's like, I'm sorry, friend.
Oh, I'm sorry, you didn't fire
Yeah,
yet.
you didn't fire.
Well, shoot!
Seriously.
Well, you were talking.
Because we
Yeah,
got
my bad. I got ahead of myself.
It's okay.
So that mech, all you've got a modifier on it is a +1 because it's standing in woods. It did not move.
Yep.
Right. Right. So, gunnery skill 4.
Mhm.
Gunnery skill 4.
Mhm.
Attack modifier for him is 0, right?
No, the attacker is you, and you ran, correct? Or walked?
No, walked.
He walked.
Walked?
Walked.
Walked.
So that's
One.
1.
1, 5, right?
And his is nothing.
Nothing.
Let him
And
do it,
then
let him do it.
the terrain modifier is 1 because he's in light woods. And for my small lasers, that is a medium range
Mhm.
shot because it's 2 away.
Mm-hmm.
So 8 for the small lasers, 7 for the medium lasers.
Ooh.
I'm sorry, no.
6.
6 for
Yeah.
the medium lasers.
Yes.
Got,
So I'm going to start with the small lasers.
so
Okay.
you've got
of those.
really good chances to hit.
Yeah, if I can roll.
4, 1 miss, 1 hit.
That's a hit.
And then the medium lasers, I need 6s or better. There's an 8, another hit,
Hit.
and no.
All right, so you got 1 and 1.
1 and 1.
All right, so a 3-point hit location coming in.
2,
6.
6.
That's going to be left. No, as you were right
Right
torso.
torso.
So right
So
torso.
3 to right torso.
Yep.
Okay.
And a laser coming in.
3.
Uh,
Right arm, 5 points.
5 points to right arm.
Your right arm's getting
2,
chewed the
3,
fuck up.
4, 5.
Yep, and that's where that heavy laser is.
Right arm.
Oof.
It is where that heavy laser is. That's okay though.
You need your white.
Yeah. That's okay,
Okay.
though because we're about to blast him
So,
to smithereens.
Before we
Yeah,
before
somebody
we
needs the red
do a
dot.
new initiative, you started here, right? And you
Mhm.
ran to get where you were.
Yeah.
I was just going to tell you after the fact because I didn't want to influence
Right.
your
Oh, no,
decision.
that's fine.
Your mech started here. One of the things you could have done was shifted into reverse and gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it would have been the same basic positioning, except you
Yeah.
would have
That you
spent
can
less
just
movement.
reverse.
Less movement.
I
Yeah.
forgot that you can just reverse.
That's
And-
right. You
and-
can walk in reverse because I wasn't up or
Right.
downhill.
And remember that
Because I
you
remembered I
can
could jump in reverse, but not walk in reverse.
mix forward and backward movement like
Right.
1, 2, 3, as long as you're not running, as long as
Right.
you're walking and you're not changing elevation. And I just noticed because you asked about the color, they must have left elevation out of the basic map so that new players wouldn't have to worry about it.
Definitely not
Yeah.
in the rules
Yeah,
for the
it's
quick
not.
start.
Because elevation adds a whole another
Right.
level because mechs are considered to be 2 levels tall. So if you're standing behind a level 1 mountain,
Mm-hmm.
you've got cover. And anything that would hit your legs just misses.
Because I'm clearly, as I'm looking at that, I'm like, those are ridges. Those are ridge lines.
They look
right
like,
there. Those are definitely some type of ridge line with some woods. That's why I was asking, because that's definitely a ridge line that is going down into a valley or valley. Well, yeah, it's a valley here. It wouldn't be a wadi because this is all green and woodsy, but
Lenav.
a little bit.
There we go.
Little bit.
So does that stay there as an obstacle that we have to move around?
Not really.
No?
But it's cool.
It's cool.
Leave it
I
there.
have a couple of broken miniatures that we occasionally, like they're just legs, and we'll leave them where a mech
Yes!
explodes.
All right.
All right. So now
All
we're
right,
rolling for
so
initiative.
both teams roll initiative.
No, go ahead. You've had good luck. I'm
8.
rolling.
Not good luck. Whatever that was, it's not enough. 3.
So your mech will move last. If you have initiative, their whole team has to go first if you're the only one left.
So, I say
How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But if I jump, it's still only 5, right?
Yeah,
Here's what
it's
I'm
one
thinking.
one for one if you jump.
I'm thinking
I'm thinking I just turn around and look right at him. And
you can turn around and look right at him, but okay, I'm going to give away the ghost. I want to do the version of a Type 360 using only 2 people, which is back to back, so whichever way he runs, he's facing cannon.
This is
And I
why
don't care about losing
That's why I love playing with
modifiers.
vets. Yeah,
That's a good idea. So
if
I
he's
just
gonna try
go-
to get behind you, make sure there's no behind you.
There's no behind. We're going to take away the behind.
Well, but hold on, but there is that arc, right? So if it's there and there,
But
then
that's our
then
arc
right,
too.
Right here would be, and you're over there, right? And right here, he would still be able to hit both of us. In either of those spots, he'd be able to hit us, and we wouldn't be able to hit him.
So then your turn, you should. Our Type 360 might not actually be back to back then.
Yeah.
Type 360 might be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I'm gonna keep angle.
I mean, here's the thing: if I turn around,
Yeah.
here's what I'm thinking: if
If
I
you
turn,
turn-
if
you
I
can-
just turn
yeah.
around and face him, and then you can face him this way and maybe back up a couple of spots, there's nowhere that he can run to that is going to be
That's
able
true.
to shoot me point blank without you being able to shoot him.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
The arc's
So-
going to expand, so
So-
if you're right next to each other, you build a blind spot. If you
Yeah,
back
that's
up
true.
Yeah.
and
Remember-
face each other, then your arcs
Yeah,
are...
making
Oh yeah.
Canalization.
Well, right, but we can't. But I can't. There's no way that there's nowhere that I can run away from him. That he can't
right
get to me.
and back up into there.
So I
into
think-
the cover.
I think
but,
I
no.
just I mean maybe if you want to back up into cover like that, but I think I just go 1, 2, face him like that, and then see where he goes. Well, and then you go. So that's 2. I just did 2.
If I walk 2.
Walk.
Yeah, show the 6
Put
because you
yourself
didn't
on a
actually.
stationary. Yeah.
And now you're just gonna back up into there.
There's a guy on
and then-
Etsy that makes custom
and then
D6s
turn.
with all
Yeah.
of these numbers on
Yep.
them, so you can use
That's
them.
still a
for
1 because it's
Nice.
walked.
I just saw him yesterday.
Is it-
No, it's
No.
it's a 0 because you didn't move. It's a 6 because you didn't move.
Look far enough to get a plus
Get a
one.
plus
Get a plus
1.
one.
Yep, that's right. So,
So you-
so
yeah.
show 6s. Okay, yep. That. Yeah, movement.
Huzzah! Your turn.
Well,
I mean, you can still
I'm
get
gonna run.
get around.
hmm Oh yeah, I mean, it's
So-
not over.
Hold on. Before you go, I think you should take one more step backwards.
I didn't know we had a Tangerine Dream soundtrack.
No.
Nope,
Alright,
just leave it
no.
where it is. Leave it where it is.
See what happens.
1,
Or John
2,
Carpenter.
3,
Yeah,
4,
I was thinking John Carpenter.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
In and out like the wind, eh, Wang?
Yeah, right? Might as well be close. I'm not gonna get any further than that.
Okay.
And that
So-
was good. That's gonna be a 3. I don't need to count it.
I just had to
It's
do
far
it.
enough.
Yeah, Jay,
You could have
yeah.
run over there and then just avoided.
I don't.
The,
Do you have enough
the
movement to
skirmish
get into the
entirely.
woods?
No, that was 10. I guess I could have gone 11, 12,
No,
right?
not end turn. No, because that was
Not
11.
end
Our
turn.
last
Yeah,
turn
it would've
been
was
that
11.
way.
Yeah.
At least I can return fire this time.
All right, so you want initiative. That means you can declare and execute fire first.
All right. Well, it's gonna be a full on.
Pew pew.
Are you in woods? You are in woods
Yeah.
right now, right?
I am in heavy woods.
+2.
Oh, this is gonna not work.
That's for for the O modifier.
Right. So 4 and then 3. I've got a 7, and then you're in 3, so that's 9. But I'm short range for all that, so no range modifier.
Mm-hmm.
So
And you got the terrain modifier. The
right, I
+2.
counted that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I counted that. So it's 9 for both.
Oof.
We'll see. No! Other small laser. 9! 1 small laser hits. 1 medium laser hits. Oh, boost.
So 1 and 1.
1 and 1. So the small laser.
3 points to the 8. That's going to be left torso.
Left torso.
3 points.
3 points. You take 3 points of damage to the left torso.
Ow!
And the second one, 5 points to 4.
Right arm.
Right arm.
Right. You okay?
Ow! Ow! Quit it! Ow! Quit it!
Ow, quit it.
I think
Like I
that
said, it was a little bit of a mismatch.
he can't fire, so you.
It's, yeah.
Yeah. So as I'm looking at this, so I got my 4, I got my 2 for my black die.
Mm-hmm.
I've got
You've
my,
got a white die.
My white die. I got a 0, right? Because I'm a 6.
No, it's a 1. The color of the die is what
That- the
matters for
color.
you. And that's a 1.
That's right. The
'cause
color. The color is
yeah.
me. The number is him.
Right.
So that's a 1 for A. Target is 3.
No terrain.
No other modifiers. Range modifiers.
Nothing.
Everything's
Nope.
within short range.
Everything is point blank. The fact that you
So-
can even miss at this range is baffling.
8.
It is kind of hilarious.
I know. So I need 8s to hit with everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
I think I'm going to need that red marker.
yeah, I don't know. Let's see how I roll first, brother. Mead laser. Miss. AC 5.
That's a
That's
hit.
SRM 6. Miss. Damn.
So 5
Just-
points coming in.
5 points coming into the
7, center torso,
Center
straight up
torso.
middle. It's the place where the locust can eat 5 points, but
It
it's also the
can,
last
yeah.
place he wants to run out of armor.
Yeah. Oof.
Alright,
Oof.
so now we take
Oof.
our dice back.
Now
and
we
roll
clear
for-
the dice and a new
so
round
now-
begins.
So do we want to keep playing this out, or do we want to reset?
What do you guys want to do? You tell
Well,
me
I feel like we've got
the
got
basics.
the rules set down.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, do we want to get a little bit more even teams and go again?
Yes.
Excellent. So here are. Let's see what we got. Yeah, erase.
I would like to keep my Wolverine, actually.
Well, that works. Then one of the other 55 tonners can go to the other team, and then
Shall we?
I've got a Wolverine and a Griffin.
Are we gonna shoot? Are
Should
we
we
gonna
just do,
hold
like-
on to multiple?
4 55 tonners. Yeah, we can do that. Hmm.
I was asking, like, do we each play one with one mech?
Yeah, we'll each
still,
play.
or do we
I'll
each
keep.
play 2 mechs.
I mean, you could. A lance on lance battle would take a little bit longer.
I'm very happy to try to do.
Let's
one
just go with the
mech.
one. With
One
these
mech.
heavier mechs, it's not going to be such a quick fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So you said you had a.
Well, it's really your figurines. What do you have in your figurines?
All right. So I have a Wolverine. I have 2 Griffins.
Okay, give me a Griffin.
Okay.
Put a Griffin out there.
Oh wait. I'm sorry. Wait. I have 1 Griffin and 2 Wolverines.
Okay,
I forgot. that
That's
there
a
were 2
Griffin?
of this. This is a Wolverine.
that's well. Okay, I've got a Wolverine.
All right. So that's a Wolverine, and you wanted to keep your
All
Wolverine.
right. Don't I need any of this stuff? I just need
Andy?
cluster hits too.
Yes.
You wanted to keep your
Yes, I
Wolverine.
do.
Here you go.
Thank
All
you.
right. So that's each side now has 155 tonner. Do you want to stick with what you've got, or do you want to?
What are?
What are the options?
What are yeah.
Well, we can put 2 heavies on the map, a pair of Thunderbolts.
Oh yeah.
I have a Thunderbolt mini, and then one of these other heavies can stand in for the other
So,
Thunderbolt if
well-
you guys want to play heavies.
What might be fun?
1 heavy and 1 medium on each
Yeah,
team.
medium
Yeah, I
and
think
heavy.
either that, or we could do like one team with a heavy and a light, and then the other team with two mediums, and see what happens that way.
Wait, what?
If we
2
do one-
mediums versus 2 heavies.
No, 2 mediums versus a heavy and a light.
I guess you could, sure.
I'm just spitballing here.
Sounds good.
So you want to stick with the?
The medium.
What do people think?
What do you want to drive?
I'm going to go with a heavy.
You want to
All
try
right,
a
then
Thunderbolt
then
I
I'll
feel
take-
good. I feel good. Not,
All right,
not,
then
Firepower
give me another heavy.
or jump jets? Which one would you rather have?
let's go with the jump.
There you
All
go.
right.
I'll take the
feeling.
firepower.
Okay.
Now let's put the figurines out. So
Yes,
I've got
we
Wait,
one
so we're not
Wolverine
going
out
to do
there.
2 mediums, 2
No.
mediums, and a heavy.
One
and a
heavy
light?
and one medium on
One
each
heavy and
team.
One medium each.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, here's a Wolverine and here's a Wolverine, right?
Well, where'd the other Wolverine figure go?
I just took
You
it
just
from
grabbed
her.
it from me.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to do a little
Because
model.
that's a
here.
Thunderbolt right there.
Oh
Here's the other
What do
Wolvie.
I have? I have the
Okay.
Thunderbolt.
Yeah.
Give me my Thunderbolt, yo.
no, and I want to
He's-
get all
he's getting
4 out
pictures
there.
of it. And then we will use this Battle Master to stand in for the second
He's just getting a
Thunderbolt.
picture of all of them before we put them out on the field,
I have.
so you can see what they look like before we put them to their respective.
And those of us who've been playing for a while, these new minis kind of brought a tear to our eye. Because remember I was talking about all those legal battles? Some of these mechs, they couldn't make miniatures of them for a very long time.
Yeah.
And these look close enough to just be
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
So, which one is which? Stick your finger down into the scene and show us.
this is a Wolverine
Okay, the Wolverine is a
medium mech.
medium. mech.
WVR6R. Movement points 5, running 8, jumping 5. It's a medium class, and it's got a medium laser, SRM, and an AC5. What's an AC5?
Autocannon 5.
Okay.
They're basically 4 weights of autocannon, a 2, 5, 10, and 20. That's how much damage each of them land, but they have increasingly short ranges as the bore size increases.
And
Okay,
the
and they're-
AC5 carries 20 rounds, and the SRM6 carries 15.
Yep.
And they basically look like that, their armor.
Yes. So,
And then, what's next? Next in
so
line
what's
is...
next is we have a Thunderbolt. This is a 65-ton heavy mech. Movement 4 walking, 6 running, 4 jumping. And I believe the weapon profile on that version of the Thunderbolt is what? 3 medium lasers.
One long range missile.
Well, yours is slightly different than his.
Oh, we have 2 different Thunderbolts?
Yes.
Gotcha.
So what's the weapons package on that one?
It is 1 long range missile 10, a medium laser, 3 medium lasers, and 1 large laser.
Okay. So slightly fewer weapons in the stock Thunderbolt, but it does have those jump jets, which give it a lot of mobility. This Battlemaster is representing the other Thunderbolt, which has
a LRM, a long range 15, a short range missile 2, 3 medium lasers, a large laser, and 2 machine guns.
And then the final mech is the other Wolverine, and that's the standard AC5 model, right?
Mm-hmm. One Mead laser, 1 SRM6, 1 AC5.
And it's got a 585 movement profile.
585, yes, sir.
So, those are the 4 mechs. We've got 1 medium, 1 heavy on each team. And so, what's the other side of this map sheet look like? Oh.
Ooh.
Let's
Oh my.
switch,
Nowhere to hide.
switch map sheets. All right, so 1 Thunderbolt. Actually, we'll let people dice for initiative to figure out where they want to set up.
And this.
So, are we doing same teams, 2 and 2?
Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, one of each team captain, please roll initiative.
And I'll roll it this time.
All right.
Okay.
And it's going to go horrible. Watch. Or not.
5.
Nope.
11.
Yeah.
Okay, so pick one of your mechs, declare whether it's walking, running, or jumping, and then the first movement point you spend will be coming on to one of these numbered hexes on this edge of the map, any one you want.
Okay. You're running out, so. And then you get me out there first, or do you want to get you out there first? So we've got some firepower, and then I will jank in front of wherever.
Let's,
I'm just saying, set the heavy gun
Yeah.
first.
so hold on, what do I have? I have a running of 6.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, holding up in the woods. All right, post your movement die. And then one of this team needs to come on the board.
Black
1, 2, 3, 4. So that's
Plus 1.
Black 1.
I'll go on first.
Okay.
So we pick run, jump, or walk,
Mm-hmm.
and then just move on the board.
Yep. First numbered hex is the first point of movement for you.
Okay.
Yeah, there's like 1 to get on the board, and then all after.
You know what? I've changed my mind. I'm going to come all the way up here.
Okay.
There we go.
Can you?
Yeah, he had one more movement
Oh, that's
point.
right. That's right. You did. Derp. You're running, right? Yeah,
The
black die.
Thunderbolt is one of my all-time favorite mechs.
Disguise the heavy, yeah?
No, that's the heavy. That's the
This-
Thunderbolt.
All right. I'm going to go with 1, 2, 3.
All right.
And
Was that a walk?
turn. And I was walking, yes.
Okay. Your turn.
Because we can come, it has to be from this side though, right? We can't come like through that way.
But you
Yeah,
can come- but you can
you can
come
start
right.
there.
Yeah.
Yep.
And for future reference, the scenario objectives and rules for entering the board can be whatever you want them to be when you build the scenario. It's just in this, for simplicity's sake, I went this row, go.
8 if I'm running.
But I mean, you can come in over here, though. It doesn't have to be over here.
Well, it's 1 to get on the board no matter what.
Yeah.
Oh, can you?
Yeah.
That doesn't-
you can just
that
walk
hex
up.
didn't
Walk
count?
Yeah, that the first numbered hex counts.
Oh, okay.
So
So 1, 2,
that would just be
No,
one.
That's 1.
but it's 1 to get on the board.
Well, the first numbered hex, yeah. So
Yeah.
stepping there is 1.
1. Okay, yeah. 1. Doop de doo. 2, 3, 4, 5, or 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Hold on.
How far can the big
8.
heavy one go?
So
That
you
Thunderbolt,
could've just
it can
walked in
move
over
6
here.
movement
So 1,
points at a
2, 3,
run.
4,
It
5,
normally
6,
moves
7.
4. So it's not that fast.
Yeah, but you gotta count 1, 2, 3.
Kind of average
One.
speed for a mech
There's no
is
reason
4
for it to come
walking,
over there.
6
Yeah,
running.
yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hexes.
Right. And what were you? You were
I was
running.
running with black, and I moved 5 to 6 hexes. That's plus 2. This is all in
AC5 has a
tiers.
range of 18.
18. It can reach out and touch someone. Only thing in this box that's going to shoot further is long range missiles.
Mm-hmm.
PPC has the exact same range.
All right, Jim.
1 and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm gonna hit that with the 8 with the long
You
range.
gotta wait.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So you're just going to stand there?
Right.
All right, so white die showing a 6.
You can
Step on the map
I think,
and
I think
open
we
fire.
I think we fire first, though.
You do fire
Yes,
first.
So
you
now
do.
you can fire.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
'cause you got the
fire
long range. You just got plus 4 modifier.
With my AC5, which
You're actually at medium range.
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
it's an AC5. So your gunnery is 4.
gunnery skill 4.
Mm-hmm. Next is your attacker movement modifier.
Which is 0.
So
Attacker movement modifier. I rolled 1.
no, it should be a 1 because you've got a white die there.
Right.
So that's 5 total.
Yeah. Target movement modifier. The number of
His
movement
his
2.
die is showing 2.
Okay.
So that's 6, 7. He's standing in woods. Yeah.
Heavy woods.
So other is 2 more. So 8, 9. Medium range 10, 11.
So I need 11.
11.
1 shot.
1 shot.
Not gonna make it.
Boom. All right. But you know, some 20
Ah.
millimeter rounds come flying by.
Yeah. Like, ah.
And now one of us gets to shoot.
That's it.
There we go.
I need to
No,
label
they
these.
both shoot. Remember?
Oh, that's right. They
Yeah,
both shoot.
everybody.
Do you have any fire?
I'm gonna calculate my chances first.
Sure. That heavy woods is going to spoil some.
Yeah, there's heavy and light in there, so I'm thinking that I'm not going to shoot my long range missile.
Okay.
Not gonna waste rounds.
That will, but
But you have a
And by the way,
laser.
that's one of the worst
You have lasers at
philosophies
range.
in all these games. Is let me save up for later.
Yeah.
When instead it should let me use all my resources as soon as I can, and then adapt later.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? Just so I know.
12.
12. Thank you.
Range is 12. So that's still medium range for the LRMs, but now in another advanced game rule, if you had a spotter, you could indirect fire the LRMs
Ooh.
And there's
and it would fly over the trees and come
Yeah.
down. But it's
You can basically do a
Yeah.
call for fire.
yeah,
and what is there? Is there one set of heavy woods in between us? Is that what we consider?
heavy
that?
and light.
There's one heavy.
There's a
and one
light here, and he's riding that line, but there's heavy here, so they both intervene.
So that's a plus 3.
Plus 3.
Plus 3, and then plus 2 for what you're in, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's plus 5.
That would be nuts.
10, 12.
Yeah, honest
Wait,
to
no,
God,
10,
Artie is
12.
brutal in this game.
I mean,
Yeah.
Like long range
I'm gonna try
missiles are bad
shooting the
enough,
laser, but I don't.
but
think
when
that I'm
people
gonna
start
hit.
bringing
I
in
have
like
to-
the laser guided artillery rounds and stuff, it's nasty.
6, 7.
Although I watched a player drop a shell on one of his own mechs once, it was great. He had watched a mini-series about World War One, so he thought he'd try a rolling
It's not
barrage
gonna-
on the
it's not gonna hit.
tabletop. And
They're both impossible shots.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
so he's moving his forces up, and he's plotted the artillery fall and misses. Shell comes right down on his lead mech.
Mm.
Okay.
Y'all's turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both of my
it's
shots are
actually shot.
impossible for this.
So you said it was 15. If I'm going after you, then that's 4, 7.
You would have slightly
9,
better numbers because
10,
you don't count the woods that you're in. So range is 12.
7,
Yeah.
4, 7, 9, 10.
Range,
So
range
with
is
the
12
medium-
plus that's the heavier the light wood. The light woods.
So with the LRM 15, I could hit it on the
Plus
on
one.
boxcars. With the and everything else is
The
out of
range,
if I hit that.
range is 13. So
Mhm.
that's
Long range with the AC5.
yeah, and out of range with everything else.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be a lot of joy this first round.
Nope.
Hold on. 1, 4, 6, 7, 11, 12. I could also hit with the LRM 15. I could also hit Jim with the LRM 15 with boxcars.
4, 2, 1.
So I'm gonna try that just cause I'm gonna try and hit Jim with it.
All right,
'Cause
go.
why not?
You need the box cars,
I need the boxcars.
and that is not the box cars.
okay.
So 8, 9, 10, 11. I need an 11 to hit.
One
All
flight
right,
of missiles.
and you're going after Jim. Yeah.
I just realized why I drove myself nuts looking for a card for those commandos. There isn't one.
Yeah, let me see if I can roll that 11.
The commandos don't come in the basic box. They came in.
So trying to roll an 11 with that AC5.
Nope.
Nope, not even close.
So BattleTech's a big reason
All right.
that our club fundraises for various charities. We put a little bucket on the table and do dollar re-rolls. So when that happens, people are like, I had one player drop a 20 one day. He just got pissed. He's like, here's 20 for the charity. Oh. So we don't let people do that for tournaments, but if we're just playing.
There we go.
Okay. So I
Round.
believe that is round, clear movement, and let's have some
It doesn't
initiative.
really matter, right? We're not.
I mean, I'm still gonna keep track of my rounds.
Yeah.
I mean,
we have
yeah.
unlimited ammo in this version of the game, right?
Well,
Do we?
it's nice to keep track just to be used to keeping track.
Yeah.
Because those LRM tubes will run out faster than you think.
Mm-hmm.
Did you just roll a 5 for initiative?
And there's an 11.
All right.
So
you get
this
initiative.
team.
So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4,
You just walk into woods.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, that would have been one more point because you walked into woods.
Start out here.
So 1, 2.
2,
Oh no, 3, 4,
4,
5,
5,
6, 7.
6,
You're
7.
right. He got it. He got it.
Okay.
And then so what do I put in front of my?
So you moved. 1, 2, 3, 4 hexes. That's a +1. So a white 1.
That's a walk for him.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, wait. That's a
That's
run.
a run for you.
No, it was a
right?
walk.
You could walk 8.
I can walk 5, can I? Where's my walk?
Yeah, but you
Oh,
spent 8.
flip it over. Hold on.
You spent 8
Walking
movement
5.
points.
Oh, I spent. Oh, okay.
The 6 with the 1.
Did
Stay
we
where you
lose
are.
the
Stay in
screen?
your tree defilade.
I'm not in the woods though.
Aren't you?
No.
You're not.
I ran past
Okay.
the woods.
That's
David,
right,
can you
ran
can
just
you
past
check
the woods.
your
Hmm.
phone to see if we're still live?
Yeah, I looked up as of a few minutes ago. I looked.
But he just got an error.
Mm.
Good for
Looks like we're still live.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That we're covered.
Do something. Move something on the in.
No, I think it was maybe it was a neutrino flux.
Okay,
Hold on.
Sunspots.
so
Sunspots, man.
one mech has moved on their team.
Okay,
Now
well,
it is.
I am not seeing your hand ever showing up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Has it switched scenes?
Hold on. It's still no. It's still showing. It's showing me the camera. Oh, yeah, no, it just showed up barely.
Okay, so we just got a little bit of a lag. Okay.
We do have a
Okay,
lag.
well then, no, yeah, I thought you were in some kind of
That's
inflator
the-
defilade, and you're not. So yeah.
TDR5SE, right? Is that what that says on that sheet? The model of the Thunderbolt? Okay, so I was just thinking about what these teams would represent, and that 5SE, that means you guys are probably an Eridani Light Horse unit. One of the few heavy mechs that they like to use is that Jump Jet Thunderbolt. Because, like I said, they're a fast mover unit. So,
Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out how best to do that on this turn.
I know.
There's a replay.
I can keep running.
it's the 4 F's of maneuver warfare. Find them, fix them, flank them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fart on.
Fling them. Fling them. Fake them.
I mean,
Fart.
Fenestrate them.
Yeah, da, ha ha.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Is that running?
6.
All right, that's a run flat out for 6.
Hold on.
That'll give you a +2 modifier. And 65
Because I
tons
can
of
shoot,
steel
yeah.
trundling at you at about 65 kph.
Except you don't move next. Dave moves next.
That's
Dave's
right.
not here, man.
The Thunderbolt is moving.
Don't answer the
Yeah.
phone.
Evil Thunderbolt is moving next.
That's right.
No, you're the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Can he
But
move
see,
through me?
we see that big.
You can
that big
move through
shoulder
allies.
cannon.
You cannot move
That's
through
right.
enemies.
That's me. That's you.
So each hex represents 30 meters. The mech does not take up the entire hex. But if it's occupied by an enemy mech, you can't move through it. You can move through an allied mech. You can't stop there, though. There's no stacking. Now, when we want to get all fancy, you can stack vehicles and infantry in a hex with a mech, but not 2 mechs.
Sounds like a Dr. Seuss story. Can I have a hex? A hex with a mech? I can stack 2 vehicles on a hex with a mech. I can stack 2 vehicles on a hex with a mech with a Mexican, and
I can stack 2 vehicles on a hex with a mech, and then I will have a very stacked deck. How stacked is your deck with your hex and your mech?
my mechs and my deck are a very stacked mech.
We are all going to hell.
Oh, look at that
Ah,
wreck.
heck, I am vexed with this very stacked deck, full of its mech and hex and wex.
Look at that wreck.
I'm gonna walk.
He's going to walk. He's going to walk and talk. He talked that he said he was going to walk.
I feel I might balk as he talks as he walks.
Holy fuck.
And while walking and talking, I hear the radio squawking. Oh, Thunderbolt, Thunderbolt, where can you be? I can't see you through this dusty Dead Sea.
2, 3, 4.
So evidently there's bards and mech warrior,
Indeed.
and they're all Dr. Zeus.
All right. So,
You guys could rap Mech Warrior.
Right?
Actually, I had a guy in a
what's your new thing?
BattleTech campaign that played a
585.
musician.
5.
Yep. But what I don't want to do is get too close and,
And end up screwed on the next turn.
well, yeah. And
I mean,
screw
but
up
we're
my
still,
range
but
fire.
they're gonna end up in the middle though. So
Mhm.
either way, they're gonna have to do something. So I think you
still
just
wanna run like a crazy person.
well, let's see, where would you end up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then a turn for 8.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking further out though.
You wouldn't be able to get that far out and turn. You'd have to
Wouldn't I?
waste 3 moves turning.
Oh, I would, wouldn't I?
And if you
1,
go that way,
2,
you can fire at him.
1,
you can,
2, 3, 4, 5.
except you'd have to turn to
6,
do that
7,
one
8.
that way.
Yeah, but I'm still within range.
Yeah, but then you're also in his range. If you
Yeah.
if you get up here, you're no longer in his range.
Yeah, that's
You-
true.
And the only thing you can get hit by is by the
That's true.
weaker guy who's
yeah.
also behind woods.
That is very true. So it's running 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
6, 7, and then turn.
turn.
Yep.
And that is one,
Wow.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did you count the first hex or no?
You count the second. You count,
You count the
one
last
land on.
hex.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 1,
that's
2,
7,
3,
so that's a
4,
plus
5,
3.
6, 7.
It's
Plus
a black 3.
Black 3.
Wow. So, in the advanced
Nice eye,
game,
David.
the Thunderbolt would basically have to do what we call a torso twist.
Yeah.
So, in the advanced game, the mechs can twist at the waist to move their firing arc 1 hex in either direction. So right now, by the beginner box rules, they're outside your arc. In the full game, you would have to pick which one of them you wanted to engage and swing towards them. So this wouldn't work in the full game, but it would be partially effective because you'd have to pick a target.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't engage both. All right. So is that all movement?
And now we shoot first.
Yes, you do. Just
Do
like
we wanna-
prom night.
Do we want to both go after the weaker target and? Well, no, because you're. Is the Thunderbolt in woods or no?
Thunderbolt is not in woods.
Nope.
Nope.
It is a much easier target.
It is. And they
It's
take
a much more
I'm-
resilient target.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's easier target, but it's a more resilient target. But still,
Still.
it's
what
an
do I
easier
have?
target. I'm thinking
1,
try to
2,
wear
3,
down the
4,
big guy.
5.
That may or may not be the
2,
right
4,
course of
5.
action,
I
but
have... Shit, I got a lot of.
so I got
I
4.
have 2
A
shorts.
4. Black
4
is a
mediums.
2. A 3.
1, 2,
And
3, 4, 5.
Short
Plus
range.
1. You're in the Wolverine is in Lightwoods.
Mhm.
I believe so. Indeed.
'Cause
Alright,
I'm a
So that'd be
4,
2,
5, 6.
3, 7, 8. So it'd be an 8 or a 10 to hit over there, and it'd be a 7 or a 9 to hit over there.
Yeah, I'm a 9. I'm a 9 to hit the Thunderbolt, and 4. 2, 1.
Hold on. Why are you a
Plus
9 to hit the
those.
Thunderbolt?
4 from my modifier. 2 from a black.
Yeah. Only 1 to
Oh,
hit
that's
the...
right. 1.
Yeah, so you're only a 7 to hit the...
That's right. That didn't look right.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm 7 to hit the Thunderbolt. And I'm going to figure out what the other one is. Shooting at the Wolverine would be silly. Be a much harder shot.
And it's a 2. It's a 4, 6. 7. It's a 7 and a 9. It's a 7 and a 9 I'd be doing over there, an 8 and a 10 over there, and you got
7's to hit on the Thunderbolt, so I'm going to shoot the Thunderbolt. So at least I have a better chance of hitting.
yeah.
And starting to try to do something to the big guy.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. If we
gotta
shoot,
start somewhere
shoot the
because God,
if we shoot the
it's got
thumb,
dots
let's just
everywhere.
shoot. Both of us shoot everything we got at the Thunderbolt.
Shoot the hostage. Take him out of the equation.
All right.
Yep.
I don't think
shall
you
I go
can-
first?
Go ahead.
Think
Alright.
is that you over there?
Yes.
Outside of your firing arc.
Yeah, he's outside of your arc.
Is that so?
Yep.
Right.
Mhm.
He is.
Yep, here's
You're
the arc,
absolutely
arc
right.
line right here.
All right.
Do you want
so
to try
just-
to engage the
Oh,
Oh
Wolverine?
yeah. Yeah. I've got 8s and 10s over there. So.
Yeah, 8s and 10s in the Wolverine.
All right.
All right,
So,
so
I'm
what,
shooting first with the LRM 15. So this is an 8. That's a hit.
that's a hit.
Next, I am shooting with. Hold on, and that's a. Let's see, I'm shooting with the SRM 2, so this requires a 10. That's a miss. Next, I'm shooting with the medium lasers 3 times. This also requires a 10. It's a miss. That's a hit. And that's a miss. So I've hit once with the LRM 15, once with the medium laser, and then I've got the large laser, which requires an 8. That's a hit.
Oof.
And
Be
then
frying eggs in your cockpit right now.
so I hit with the
Yeah,
LRM
thank God we don't have
15,
heat.
the medium laser, and the large.
All right,
laser.
so for the LRM 15, roll to see how many missiles hit.
LRM 15. So that means I
two
have
dice on the cluster hits table.
Yeah. Just
two
roll.
dice. So it's a
five.
five on the
That
15.
means 9 missiles hit. Now, unlike short-range missiles, which each hit a separate location, LRMs go in 5-point chunks. So you'll hit for a 5, and then you'll hit for a 4.
Okay. So this
You're moving
is
all the
an
bo- hey,
11
stop
on
moving the board.
location.
Left arm.
All right, so
So
that's
5 points of damage.
points.
Where
Left
were
arm
we?
to the Wolverine.
Okay, I think I was
You
here.
were there,
Mm-hmm.
and you were back one.
Back one in the Lightwoods.
There you go. All right, so Jim, you are taking 5 to the left arm.
Wait, he's not the Wolverine, is he?
Yep.
No,
Yes,
he
he
is.
is.
Yep.
All right, so 5 to the left arm on Jim.
And 4 to the left arm. So you took 9 to
9
the
to
left
the
arm.
left arm.
1, 2,
Was that right?
3,
You were there?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay.
Barely
I thought it
scratched.
was
And now
Back one.
now this is with the medium laser. This
That
is
was
5
here. Maybe
to
not. 1, 2,
the
3, 4, 5, 6,
left
7.
torso.
5 to the left torso.
Yeah.
No, then maybe that's right.
1,
Knocked
2,
over.
3, 4, 5.
And then
6 is right torso.
6 is so it's 8 to the right torso.
Right torso.
Yeah,
Takes
8
8.
points. That's that heavy
1,
laser.
2,
Those things hurt.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
So what is your? So he's standing in wood. So it's one.
Standing heavy woods, isn't it? Or light
He's standing in light
Light
woods.
woods.
Plus
So that's
1.
so it'd be +2 because there's also light woods in between you.
Yeah.
So you moved, and then it's
But the thunderbolt
3,
isn't.
6. So you'd have to hit a 10 in order to.
Yeah. But I'm gonna shoot at the thunderbolt because I need 7s for everything.
Fair enough.
So I want to try to actually hit something.
All right. Time to unload you.
So med laser, please. Damn, that's a miss. SRM 6 is a miss. AC 5 is a hit.
Okay.
So AC 5. So I should always do this SRMs last. AC 5, I guess. A location. A 7.
Center torso.
Center torso, 5
And-
points.
Yep.
So it's interesting that you bring that up, the firing the SRMs last. In the advanced game, when you can hit internal components of a mech, most pilots will try to hit with their high damage single hit weapons 1st and then fire the SRMs. Because if you manage to can open or a hole, there's more chance of you getting one of those little 2
Yeah.
hits in there.
Saying you noticed the last one, I always tried to fire my last just out of.
Because it doesn't
Some
matter
weird
how
habit.
much damage the critical does. Even if it's 1 point, you're still rolling to see if you knock something out.
Yeah.
So those tick 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 tick. One of my friends actually had a mech with 6 SRM6 racks on it, and that was what it was for, was getting in there and just paper cutting something to death.
That is beautiful.
We took one of those, like,
Hold on. No, because they still have to
Yeah,
they
shoot.
that's
haven't
right.
shot yet. We took one of those
Sorry.
tackle box containers,
I felt
like
like we
what I
got
had my
shot.
miniatures in,
Mm-hmm.
put a 2d6 in each container, and then numbered them, so that when someone did that with that many missiles, we could just go shake, 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 and put it down on the table and go, okay, 6, 5, 3, 2,
Nice.
2, 7.
It's your turn to
I
fire,
feel
sir.
like we got shot at. I don't know why.
So-
Okay, I will fire.
Who are you firing at, and what are you firing?
I'll fire at this right there. Is that out of my range?
That's me.
No, this person right here.
That one. Okay, yeah,
Okay.
that's
It's
not me.
it's in your range, but you got woods to go through.
One hex of woods.
Okay, well, I'm just going to empty everything into that one mech right there. So they got a 3. I've got a range of short with everything.
Okay.
And
So
I got
your
the
base
woods to shoot
number's
through.
4.
Yeah,
So you ran
yeah.
5, 6. Their movement 7, 8, 9. And then one wood's 10. You need 10s.
Okay, here's the first roll.
All right, which weapon is that?
The first weapon, this is the medium laser.
All right, medium laser. Miss. Next weapon.
SRM 6.
SRM 6.
Miss.
And then the AC 5.
AC 5.
7.
7. Miss.
All 3 miss.
Boom, boom, boom.
All right. Now we take these back. I'm gonna roll for initiative again.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
8.
7. Oh, they have initiative again.
Mm.
That's how we do it in our basic D&D games, where it's one roll for the whole side. Either the players go 1st or the monsters.
Yeah.
Is one player will roll until they lose. Then
Yeah.
the next player rolls until they lose, and the next
Yeah.
player.
Nice.
All right. So that means you guys have to move first.
I'll move first. Walking. 1, 2,
Oh.
3, 4.
Nice.
All right. You go next. Get right behind him.
Don't forget to place your die. So now I know why the walking dice are white. It's because they're white walkers.
I feel like, I've been lose so much for the. As I can walk and get behind him. I want to jump and turn around because it's cool, but the modifier isn't worth
Right.
it.
It's
Even
totally
though I
not.
really want to just like jump the thunderbolt and land and turn,
Yeah.
but
They'll be
Like
speed
black-
I am not as
Uh, Land, knee up.
micronized Zentradi.
Zentradi? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
not Miria
So-
Carino. It's not going to work that way.
So turn left.
That's my first anime babe crush.
I mean,
The green
my
hair.
hair is kind of green right now, but my low key Miria cosplay
So
on a daily basis.
I think you do exactly what he did. Rotate to
Yep.
the left 1, and then move back 2, and then rotate, and then move back 1. And that's 5. And then you're right behind him, point blank.
Well, because also you can go backwards. So
Yeah.
yeah.
1,
1,
nope,
2,
Don't you have to turn again?
3,
3,
and then rotate.
But you're.
4.
no.
That's.
Yeah, I don't think you were
yeah.
facing the correct way. If you
You're
want to
just
move
facing-
backwards, you have to move backwards straight. You can't move to the side, right?
Right. You have to move straight into the hex behind you.
Ah,
And then you're going to have to turn.
Yeah. No, she turned.
She
She turned.
turned.
This is the way
She
she was
turned this
facing.
way.
So she
So
turned this
1,
way. So now she's back
2,
in 1 or
3.
2, 3. And then I say you back like this. 4.
And then
And
one
then
more
5.
back.
Boom. And now you're he's
Yep.
in your arc right over there, and you're not in his arc.
yep. And that was walking.
Although I guess you could, because you were gonna do and turn that way.
Yeah, I
Because
think
you were,
that's
you were saying. Because this is what you wanted to do, right?
Plus 1. Because and then turn.
Yeah, I think that was already.
It
and then turn.
makes
Boom.
it's same almost. Other this is. It's going to be the same
Except
modifier.
being right behind him makes it harder for him to then
right.
back
No.
up into
Yeah.
the
This
corner
was
later.
this was.
So you.
And it was the same
Except you have
It's
to
the
be
same modifier.
that way.
that way. Yeah. But that's still my arc.
Yeah.
But it's the same modifier, isn't
Yeah.
it? Because I've walked what? I hardly walked at all. 3 to 4 hexes.
You know what? Might be before you
Is
place
it- is
that.
it? Yeah.
Before you place that, hold on.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 to 4 hexes. I think it's gonna be 3 to 4 hexes, no matter what we're walking.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, let's just see what
Yeah.
happens.
Yep. All right.
If we die, we die.
Okay.
Die gloriously.
Jim, thy movement.
All right.
Let's try it. See what happens.
Right. I move.
Yep.
Yes.
I want to jump.
Ooh. So you've got a 5 hex range on jumping.
I mean, this could
Where
go.
are you jumping to?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here, and I can turn and jump.
Yep.
Yes, you can.
Face to face.
I think you want to put a red die down.
And then what do I?
Yep.
5.
You moved 5 hexes. That would be a 2.
Plus,
Two.
plus 2 on red.
Yeah.
Or 2
Okay.
on red.
Mm-hmm. Wow. That is a fur ball.
Mm.
It's a sticky wicket. If I ever saw one.
Your turn.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
He'd still be in your arc.
But at that point, I'm. Oh, and that's a run for me.
Yeah, you'd have a shot at either of them there.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He'd still be at my arc. I'd be in his arc. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
7. That's a heavy woods.
Oh, right. Wait. Oh,
So
so it
not-
takes 3 to walk through heavy woods?
Yep.
Okay. 2 to fire into, 3 to walk into.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Firing through one set of light woods. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You could try that.
What do you think, Andy?
Yeah, go for it. I want to see what happens.
And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
And then that's one set.
That's one hex
that's
of
one
woods,
hex
yes.
of woods that we're going through.
Because no matter which side of the line you call it on, it's one hex.
Yep.
All right, and now we shoot first.
And that would be a 2 on your movement die. So you guys declare fire first. What's going to happen?
Do we want to blast everything at the? Hold on. Who did we hit for what last time?
You hit.
I
Hit
I
the
hit you-
Thunderbolt
hit the
for
Thunderbolt
5
and
in the
the
torso,
torso.
Oh,
but we
that's
hit the Wolverine for.
and I hit the whole Wolverine for a whole
That
lot.
looks like
right?
a crotch shot. from
you but just well distributed.
Let me
Yeah.
see. Let me
Bong.
see yours.
It's real
Can,
well
can they do that? I guess.
Yeah.
And the left arm was injured mostly, but you got each side of the torso.
Yeah.
So.
So I got a 4.
Do we want to? I think at this point. Well, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
4.
That puts me
1.
into medium range for just about everything. Whereas I'd be in short range
4,
for
1, 2.
the LRM
I think
and
there's. Are there
right.
no other. There are no
One-
other modifiers
1, 2,
for me
3,
to shoot
4,
the Wolverine.
5
Just
with one thing of light woods. So that was a 1,
7s again.
3, 7, 8. So I'm looking at 8s and 10s.
I'm looking at 7s to hit the Wolverine,
Or
or
uh,
4, 1,
all 10s.
1, 6s to hit the Thunderbolt.
Wait, why? Oh, because he jumped. Yeah, or because he moved.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'm going after the Thunderbolt right now
Okay.
with everything I got. LRM 15. I need an 8, and I get it.
Wow.
SRM 2. I need a 10, and I get it. Medium laser. I need 10s. There's 1 miss and hit. So 1 hit with the medium laser.
Wow.
Jesus.
And then large laser, I need an 8 and a miss.
Okay, so for the LRM, roll for number of missiles hitting.
So that's 10
Wow.
and 15, so that's 12.
So 3 locations, 2 for 5 and 1 for 2.
12
Head.
is the head, so I got 5 in the head.
Brutal.
That's the cockpit, baby.
Jesus.
I assume if you
Take the head off,
take
the
the head
neck
off,
is
the thing is
gone.
dead. And 5 in the
That's what you roll
Right
for?
arm.
Right
Right
arm.
arm.
Right into face.
And then 2 points.
and then 2 points in the
8.
left torso.
Mm-hmm.
2 points in the left.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So
now
you
with the SRM 2.
so roll to see if one or both missiles hit. On an 8 or better, both missiles strike. One missile. Roll
One
to see where
missile.
it goes. 2 points.
2 points going to the left torso. And then it was the medium laser.
Mhm.
So this is 5 points going to
4 again.
4
right
again,
arm.
the right arm.
How many points?
5.
5. Standard medium laser.
I think I'm also gonna
Right.
just shoot at the thunderbolt because it's 6 to hit with everything.
Okay, go for it.
And if you get, he only needs 4 points of damage on the head to be
So,
totally
and-
taken out.
So with the medium laser, that's a hit.
Critical hit.
Huh.
A very palpable hit.
AC 5 is a hit. And the SRM 6
It's a miss.
is a miss. Damn. My system.
All right, so
My
2
system's
5-point
shot.
hits.
So the first one went to
Center
7.
Center.
Center torso.
How many
So
was that?
5.
5.
Yeah. 5 to center torso. And
Oh, so close.
11.
To the
So
left arm.
close. 5 to left arm.
Yeah, nothing like a cockpit shot like first round of combat. It happens. All right, so that's all of that team's fire.
All right.
What are you guys going to do in response?
Ouch.
Do you want to go first?
Sure.
I have a feeling we're about
Who are
to
you
take
targeting?
a shit ton of damage.
Just the Wolverine right in front of me.
Yep. Like I said, I'm feeling
So
about
my
to take
odds
a shit
are
ton
what?
of damage.
Gunnery 4.
Gunnery
You
4.
jumped 5, 6, 7. And her movement, I can't read the die.
2.
It's 8, 9. You need 9s.
9s. Okay.
So that jumping really
7.
miss.
Yes.
It's gonna hit.
That's
12
a hit.
Yep, that's a hit.
and 6. Okay.
So what was that second weapon?
The SRM 6.
So roll for number of missiles hitting.
Where's that table? Number of missiles hitting is 4.
So that's 3.
Weapon size.
Yeah, because the
roll
weapon
six.
size,
Weapon size is
SRM
6.
3.
So
So roll 3 times, and she takes 2 damage in each location.
Okay, first 6,
So that's the
Right torso.
10,
left arm.
and 8.
Left
and
torso.
Left torso.
Not real damaging.
All right. Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt.
Right. Time to retaliate.
Bring the pain.
Oof.
If I had
Heavy
a
on heavy.
rocket launcher.
Heavy on heavy.
So let's start with the long range missile. I need a 9 to hit with the long range missile. Let's see what we got. A 9.
Hey, that's a hit.
Whoa! Ow!
And then the long range or large laser. I also need a 9 to hit with that.
Okay.
No,
Oh,
just missed.
oh, damn
And
close.
3 medium lasers that I need a 10 apiece to hit with.
Hit.
Hit.
1 hits, 1 medium,
There's a miss.
and last one
Hit.
hit. 2 mediums and the LRM.
All right, so number of missiles hitting.
Interroll for.
Is it an
roll
LRM
for it.
15?
It's LRM 10.
LRM 10.
7.
That's one of the things that version of the Thunderbolt trades for its
So
jump jets.
7
You
on
get
a
6.
10, it's a 6.
6 hits.
6
So that's a 5-point location and a 1-point location.
Okay.
So 5 points to the
5 points to 10.
The left arm.
Left
Left
arm.
arm.
and then the single point
8.
Uh,
the
right
left
torso.
torso.
No, left torso.
Left torso.
And then a medium
Medium laser.
medium laser. This is 5 damage to 8.
That's also left torso.
Left torso.
Youch.
Okay.
All right.
Initiative, yeah?
Yeah.
Clear movement.
Initiative.
This is looking nasty. Bunch of mechs in each
Alright.
other's faces. Oh, painful.
Come on,
Your-
12.
Yeah, watch. You're not.
All right, your
All right.
team moving back. As much as I hate to say it, I highly recommend the Thunder Bunny because it simply does not have the maneuverability that Jim's Wolverine does.
Yeah. I'm gonna jump.
Oh wait, I forgot it had jump jets.
Yeah,
it's the
that's
most
that's the
maneuverable, I
ELH Thunderbolt.
Yeah,
Thunderbolt.
he's got less.
So we're
yeah,
going
that's why he's only got
1,
those
2,
weapons.
3, 4, 5.
How many jump jets does it have? I thought it was a.
Oh, sorry, it's a 4. So
Each
I'll
of
go
them's a
here.
4.
That's beautiful.
And I guess that's a 2.
For 4, it would be a 1.
4 is a 1.
For some reason, in the advanced game, it would be a 2 because you add 1 for jumping, but that's not
Yeah.
in the basic game.
Alright.
All right, but
Um,
you are exactly where a heavy mech likes to be, which is in heavy tree cover.
Alright, and so I have, hold on, let me look at my thing here. Walking is 4. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, that's evil.
Hold on. And I don't see, and
We gotta
Four
win some
and a
initiatives
turn.
because we keep getting outmaneuvered.
4. I don't see any reason to move anywhere.
Hi there.
I
Okay, mark
don't see any
your.
reason to move faster than that. Alright, so that is a one of these guys, right?
Yeah. Now it's up to Jim.
My movement.
Your movement, sir.
Well, we've done a lot of damage to that Wolverine.
You
Not
haven't
really.
done a lot
We
of
haven't
damage
done
to any
any.
of us.
We haven't done hardly anything.
And there's been no damage to the heavy.
No.
A little
actually,
bit.
Actually, you've damaged me more. although I
The
probably
heavy
have
has more damage than
more
the
armor.
Wolverine.
Although I don't know. Actually, it looks like we're similarly armored. Let me look.
What's
No,
what
it's
do
the
you, what do you
amount of
suggest
dots.
I do?
Look at the amount of dots.
I know.
Look at that difference in dots.
Oh yeah. Okay, I've got more.
Yeah, you got way more
I got-
dots.
What do you suggest I do?
I mean, if you don't move, she's just gonna run around behind you.
Mm-hmm.
So
Or
I would
walk.
I would back up.
Just run away. Put on your reverse thrusters. Is that you?
Yeah, I'm just going to walk backwards. Which is
Okay.
a white die, which gives me 2.
1.
One.
Okay.
All
You only
right.
moved. It would be a.
Yeah, that's
Hold on.
only 2 hexes. That would be a 6
It would be a
showing.
6. Yeah.
That would be no mod because it's only 2 hexes. Okay.
So I'm gonna stand still.
Hold on. Are you?
Ooh, it's a standoff.
Hold on. No. Stand still. The 6.
Or
so
go
it's
for
a zero, it's a
or
zero
turn.
mod,
Yeah,
right?
it's a 0 mod,
Yeah.
so it's better to hit.
Hold
I mean,
on,
I
I'm
could
just-
turn to change my range fan, but
Or
You turn.
yeah,
You can hit me, but not him.
yeah, but you're a harder hit. You're already a harder hit, so
So the 2 mediums are going to mix it up.
why not?
Going to be
all right.
nasty.
So that even though it's a white die, it's a 0 mod for her. right?
because she stood
Because
still.
she stood
Yes.
still. Okay. So we just have to remember that because okay.
So, but it's still a +1 for him because it's white.
Yeah.
Maybe that should be like a 5 showing since you can't actually have a 5 or
Yeah.
you can't have a 5 mod and that'll distinguish it from I turned and therefore
Right.
Yeah, so basically I have a 4, a 1, and nothing else. I'm a 5 to hit on everything.
Are you really?
Yes. That's
so
why I was
have
like,
a 4, 5, 6, and then I'm shooting into heavy wood, so that's 7, 8. I have an 8 to hit on everything, and
I mean, we're both
but
gonna hit the
I
hell
have
out
2
of each
extra
other.
weapons because I got the machine guns I can fire at them now.
Yeah,
So.
I was gonna say we're both gonna hit the hell out of each other because we're both at a 5 to hit. So
All right. You want to go first this time?
sure, why not? So medium laser is a hit.
Okay.
AC 5 is a hit. And
And a hit.
SRM 6 is a hit. So
Okay.
roll for missiles.
Number of missiles hitting.
Number of missiles hitting. That's a
12.
12.
That's all 6 of them.
That's all 6 missiles hit.
So 2 5-point locations and then 6 2-point locations.
Okay, so 5-point locations. 3 is right arm for 5 points.
Okay.
8
is left
that
torso.
left torso for 5 points.
And then
Damn it.
6, count them 6, 2-point locations.
Left arm for 2. 6 right torso for 2.
Left arm.
10 left arm for 2. That's 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
4. 7 center torso for 2. This is 6, right?
Yep.
7.
No, that's 5. You've got one.
5. 7 center torso for 2. This is the last roll.
Yeah.
8
Left torso.
left torso. Damn, I was hoping for another center torso
For 2?
Yeah, for 2.
for 2.
All
so
right.
now,
That's it. That's your fire, right?
yeah, we also got, so the medium, but we already did the medium laser and the AC5, right?
So
And
now
then
the
6, yeah.
yeah
okay.
the
That's
Thunderbolt fires, and then it's
No
their team's turn.
Thunderbolt, and I need 8s on everything, I believe. So starting with the LRM-15 is a miss. The SRM-2 is a miss.
Come on.
Medium laser 1 is a hit. Medium laser 2 is a hit. Medium laser 3 is a hit. Large laser is a miss. Machine gun 1 is a hit. And machine gun 2 is a miss. So I hit with 3 medium lasers and a machine gun. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. So medium laser, 5 points, 2. 6 is the right torso.
Oh, do you want
That's
the
5 points.
5 point, yeah, 5
Yeah,
points
5 points to the right torso.
to the right
Okay.
torso. 5 points to
What is it?
4 is the right arm.
Right arm. If you just call it out, I'll read them for you.
Right arm is
5, yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
What'd you get?
7 center
Center
torso is another 5,
That's your 3 lasers.
and then I hit with
One machine
machine
gun,
gun.
2
Machine gun.
points.
which is 2 points to number 10 left
Arm.
All right.
Well, that right arm is just about blown off.
Oh, Jesus.
Man, you're hanging in there though.
What in the actual heckin' heck?
All right,
Yeah.
and that's
Thunderbolts are renowned for being bricks. They take a lot of damage
Yeah,
to
they do.
kill.
and now you guys are firing at us. Is that right,
Mhm.
I have nothing I can fire at, so it's all you, buddy.
Jim?
Jimmy gets to shoot
Return
the heck out of
fire.
me, and he's a 5 to hit also.
So all I need is a 5?
Yeah.
Wait, is that right?
Yes.
4 and he walked. 1, 5. Yeah, because she's
Yep.
got no mod.
I just say call which weapons.
8. Oh, just shoot
Call-
the top
yeah,
down.
call-
Medium laser, 8. SRM,
That's
5.
No, I mean call before you roll it. You got.
You should have had a 4. You should have been 4 actually. You should have had no mods at all. You said a 5. It should have been 4 for you.
Because you stood
Because
still.
you stood still, so you
Yeah.
had 0 mod there.
Oh, I still hit.
But you still
everything
hit,
You
anyway.
still hit every time.
Yeah.
But
No, I'm saying you call the weapon and then you roll because that affects
Yeah, of course.
what the type of weapon and how many things like with missiles
So I
and other
rolled
stuff
a
like that.
5 on the SRM
That's
6.
it. That's a hit.
Yes.
Or for number of missiles or for hit.
Just to hit.
No,
Then-
yeah, I'm
then
just
you
saying that
hit.
we should call
And
the
then
weapon.
AC
We should
I
call the
get it.
weapon before we roll. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. AC5 is
Hit.
8, so all of them hit.
Yep.
And roll for number of missiles on the missile table.
Yeah, they were all gonna hit.
Here you go. It's been blessed.
Yeah, right.
Got a
5.
6.
It was
3.
5. Oh,
So
3?
3 missiles hit.
There's
So
5.
let's do the 3 missiles first.
Wait, so what just happened?
She got hit by everything, and then the missiles were
So
3.
2 5-pointers and 3 2-pointers.
Yep.
So we'll do the missiles first?
If you fired them first.
Okay, well, we'll start at the top again.
Okay.
So
Yep.
with
So,
the medium laser,
5 points.
4.
That is the right arm. 1. That's for 5 points, right?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go.
SRM 6,
So 2 points to the
3.
right arm. 2 more points to the.
And then here's the missile.
Two more missile hits.
All right.
Yep.
10
That's 2 points to the left arm.
and 7.
2 points center torso.
And then the AC 5
Yeah, 5-point hit.
to 6.
That is the right torso.
1, 2,
Starting to see a fair amount of red.
6.
Yep.
Yep.
I feel like
Alright.
I'm
He's
filling out a
starting to do-
Scantron
He's
here.
starting to do some damage. Oh yeah, but I mean these two
Stay inside the bubble.
Wolverines. I almost want to see us
Right?
just stay there and just
Wail.
wail on each other. Because we're gonna hit. It's like almost impossible
Then
for
the
us to
heat
miss, and we don't have to worry about heat.
Sure.
All right,
So-
rolling for initiative.
Give it a
6.
shot.
Yeah,
I've
because
botched the last
that
3.
Thunderbolt would be rolling for
And
shutdowns right
11.
now.
All right,
if
you
we
have
were-
initiative
They
this
have
time.
initiative.
All right.
Ooh.
Which one of you would like to go first?
You move first.
You go first.
You go first.
You go that you know that Hugo.
Me and my Yugo.
You go that way you go.
Because he's just as movie as I am.
Yeah. Maybe take
But
like
I
3
can
steps
still-
back or something.
I kind of want to have both of them in range.
Yeah, I think if you just take like 3 or 4 steps back, he'll still be in range. What's your range on your weapons?
Well, I'm trying to keep everything within short range. So 3 is short range, 6 is medium,
But you
9 is
can't
long.
you can't stay in short range and not have him come around
Yeah,
behind
I
you the
know,
way
I
that we've
know,
been.
I know.
So better to be in medium range and
Yeah.
not have a
No,
point
it
blank
is,
shot.
but
at
I
us.
also still want, because I could walk. If I did,
Just take 3 steps back.
well, I was saying turn and come over this way, because I'd be far away from him, and then come into closer range of the big guy.
Sorry, what are you saying? You would go
Turn.
which way?
Turn and come. I'm out of range of him, and then in closer range of the big guy.
And remember, he still has a move,
I know.
and he could just go.
Yes, he could, because he can jump. He's bouncy.
Or you could just walk after you and close the range
Yeah, exactly.
with your back
Does
turned.
it take 2 or 3 points of walking to walk out of heavy woods?
No, you
One.
always count the
Yeah.
cost of the hex you're moving into,
I
not
did.
the hex you're moving out of.
2, 3,
You're facing this way.
4.
right?
I know, but
Oh,
that
okay,
was a
you're just-
movement.
All right, sorry.
So we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I think you're going to have to turn to go from here to here.
Yeah. But
Oh,
you're
yeah,
already
that's right.
facing this way, right?
So I could just
So
walk
you just
backwards.
yeah.
So go. That would be 1,
One,
2,
Turn.
3,
Step.
4, 5.
Okay, so before we commit to that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he could turn and fire right at your back, right here.
Yep.
So I would say it's better for just to come back this way, force him to step out of the way to be able to.
I'm here, right?
Yeah, that's where you were.
So just straight back. 1, 2, 3.
3, and here he would have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, turn,
Yeah.
8, right?
And I'm
So
still
here-
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You're still 5 and
Yeah.
medium
Wait,
range.
but they're
from there.
gonna move. So
Yeah, assuming
yep,
it's 1, 2.
So I
3,
can't
4,
jump
5, 6.
behind her.
you're good
You
at.
can't
You're
jump
way-
that
you're way
far.
too far
Don't
away.
worry.
You're good at.
That red one is mine.
Yeah, you're
You
good
could
at.
get in her
good at
face.
counting the things.
You
So
just
that
walk right up.
was 1, 2,
She's within
3,
range of how many
4,
weapons?
5.
6.
I mean, all of your weapons are in range.
Mhm.
Just some of
One,
them
two-
would
yeah,
be,
just-
Be long range.
So
would
it's
be,
no,
you got
it's
medium,
a white
medium.
6, I believe.
For all of them.
Is what you're looking at.
No.
Yeah,
Six.
she's only at 6
You're
range.
only at 6 range.
All right.
Oh, sorry, it's a white 1.
It's a white 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a white 1. I moved, so there's a
Okay.
number for sure. So it's a. But
No,
it's,
well,
but
because
I
if you
walked.
only moved 2, then it would have been.
I didn't move
Yeah,
enough. I
The
didn't cover enough
optimum,
hexes.
the optimum numbers, if you're looking for numbers
Why
to
don't you go
hit,
first?
Okay, I'll move.
if you're gonna move.
I'm not gonna move.
Oh, okay.
So
I was-
battle.
It's your move.
Okay.
You're not
So
gonna move.
you need to do this guy. Pew. You got better accuracy.
Yep.
So I am going to 1, 2, 3. Hold on, I'm not done yet. 3. So I do have a
Hold
4.
on for one more day.
You've got a movement of 4 as well.
I'm the
4,
same
6,
as you,
4,
bud.
6, 4.
They're both Thunderbolts. I think they move about the same.
The only difference is one has jump jets.
Yep.
Jump Jet. That's a good name for my punk band.
I thought you were Smoking Boots.
Smoking. That's me. I'm
Boots.
Smoking Boots. That's my country western band.
So wait, no way. Am I still 5? That seems weird. Oh, I guess I am.
With the
Okay. That's going to be my move, so that means I'm on a white
autocannon,
1.
yes. With the
Okay.
missiles and the medium laser, you would be a 7. Because they're in medium range.
Yep.
1, 2.
That's why I
Toe
was
to
shocked
toe.
as I was looking at that one. I was like, what?
So, team that won initiative, who you want to blow up?
Well, I'm just gonna open fire. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, he is.
I'm just opening fire.
But he's also medium range for 2 of them too. Yeah, we're like,
So,
Alright.
yeah.
this is a pretty good attack.
Here we go. It's the medium laser, and it's medium range.
So, you need a 7.
7. Okay. 4. And then the SRM6 needs a 7. 3.
Oof.
And
The AC5 only needs a 5.
Only needs a 5.
only needs a 5.
Yeah, it's gonna hit.
5.
That's a hit.
That's
Roll
a hit.
location.
Ouch.
Real
It's
location,
gonna be horrible.
9.
Left leg.
Left leg.
Haven't hit that yet.
Bong.
Cool. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, but
5.
losing a leg is bad, bad.
Man, I
It is.
rolled.
It is.
Alright.
It is.
That really rad. That was really rad.
I'll go ahead and take this for the assault that Dave is about to levy at me.
Mhm.
All
So
right,
what do we
Dave.
got? 1, 2,
Unleash
3, 4.
hell.
That was a disappointing attack by me. She's gonna cut me
7.
up.
Maybe not. I'm probably gonna end up doing the same thing.
Okay,
I'm gonna
so
miss both the
light
7s
range
and hit on the
missile
5.
missile is a.
You don't have the same odds to hit as I did.
Pretty similar, yes.
Pretty similar.
So if I calculate it
5,
out
7,
right, 4 plus 1 for walk is 5.
Mhm.
So it'll be 5 for the autocannon. Add 2 more for range for the
7,
other
7,
weapons. So
yeah.
5, 7, 7. Yeah.
Oh, for hers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because his number is a 0. My color is a white.
Yeah. So you guys flip flopped
Mhm.
modifiers.
So yeah, we're still.
So I've got 5 for LRM,
Mhm.
6 for my medium, and 5 for my
Ooh.
large.
Large.
So we'll start with the LRM. Oh, come on, really?
Wow! Oh no!
You got lucky. Large laser. That
That's
hit.
a hit.
And 3 mediums.
Medium number 1 hits. Medium number 2 hits. And medium number 3 hits.
All right. So an 8 and 3 5s coming in.
Oh, ho, ho, ho.
Okay, so the large laser, it hits you in the head.
An 8 to the head.
Jesus.
Oh.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 1 hit point left.
Oh my
in the head.
God.
Yeah, I was like, it's a good thing it's a heavy, because.
All right, first medium laser.
That is not a headshot.
No.
7 torso.
Center
So that's
torso.
5 to the center
5
torso.
to the center torso. 6.
To the right torso.
Yep,
Mhm.
another 5.
1, 2, 3. I just realized that it says the number on the dice number on.
Yeah.
And 4. 5
Uh,
to your
the right arm.
right arm.
So 5 to the right arm.
Mhm.
Yep.
So another interesting piece of trivia about the
Ooh, that was a
standard
searing
game:
headshot.
when you hit a mech in the head,
Nervous. I'm nervous too. One hit and it's,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
over.
when you hit a mech in the head, even if you don't destroy it, the pilot takes damage from the impact, and the pilot has to make saving throws or fall unconscious, and it gets increasingly harder the more times the cockpit has been hit. Also, if you fail a pilot check and fall over, which doesn't happen in this starter game, you have to make, we call it the seatbelt check. You have to roll against your pilot skill or else you're injured in the fall. And so it is entirely possible for your pilot to just get knocked out cold or killed
By
falling down or by having tiny little missiles plink your cockpit all day.
That's
Alright.
So,
some realism. So
How about, since you have options, how about I go first?
okay,
And we'll see. All right.
what the heck happens?
So I think I have a base of 8 plus range. So with the LRM, it is an 8. And that is a
You're
hit.
counting the cover that I'm in, right?
I'm counting the cover that you're in. With the SRM2, I need a 10. And I hit.
Whew.
With the medium lasers, I need 10s. That's a miss. That is a hit. And that is a miss. With the large laser, 1, 2, 3, 4.
You're in short range.
I am in the short range, so I need an 8 for that. So that's. So I've hit with the
SRM.
SRM2, and with the. I missed with the LRM15, right? So I hit with the SRM2 and the and 1 medium laser. So now I'm going with the large laser. That's a miss, and the machine guns are out of range. So I hit with the SRM2 and 1 medium laser. So I'm rolling for a number of shots.
Mind
That's
if I borrow
a
the red from
6 on
Yeah.
a 2. So I hit with 1,
1 missile.
and so that's what is that? 2 damage
2 damage.
to the center torso.
Bing.
And then medium laser is 5 damage to the
Center torso.
center torso.
However, in the full game, that is a possible through armor critical when you roll snake
You show
eyes.
snake eyes. Ooh.
All right.
Ooh. Oof. Oof.
That's disappointing. All right.
So
those were both 2 damage?
Mhm.
No, the last one was 5.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
The last one should have been 5.
So what could have happened on that 2 is you would roll to confirm the critical, and if confirmed, you could hit 1, 2, or 3 items in the center torso. Engine, gyroscope, any weapons or ammo that might be
Yeah.
mounted there.
Hit that gyro.
Gyro hits.
Fine,
are-
man.
Yes.
All right. And now, Andy.
Is it my
Your fire.
fire? Oh, we're still going Wolverine on Wolverine, because I'm still 5, 7, and 7 to hit. So I'd say 7 to hit with the medium laser.
That's not gonna hit.
It's 7 to hit with the SRM6. It's
Yes.
a hit. And then 5 to hit with the AC5. Okay, so roll for how many missiles?
Yep.
10.
That is 5 of them.
So it's 5. So roll 5 for 2 damage each. So
Ready?
first one.
No.
I'm pooping in my pants.
So that's a 9.
Now I'm stinking boots.
So that's
So
going to the left leg.
2 to the left leg.
So that's what I say, left leg. Well, at least she's frying out all the poop.
Ha!
6.
6
right
is
torso.
right. Thank you.
Right torso, 6.
Yeah, 2 to right torso.
Oh, just 2.
7 to center torso. Or 2 to center.
2 damage to center torso.
2 to
Got
center.
2 rolls
Okay.
left. 8 is left torso.
2 points
2
to left
points
torso.
to left torso. And right torso, 2 more points.
Oh man, I'm hanging in there just fine. You're distributing your fire pretty good.
No, it's annoying.
All right, and that's it, right? Roll for initiative. Whoops. That was not good. It was over here, right? I think it was 4 away. Okay. So that's a
6.
6. Do you want to roll this time, or should I roll again?
You roll for initiative.
6, 8. All right.
My initiative rolls are tonight or me.
All right, you guys move first.
If it ain't broke, done fix.
Do you want me to move first?
I can move. Okay, I'm way over here.
Yeah, I'm just the Battle of the Wolverines.
I'm just gonna move here.
Okay,
Walk.
1, 2, 3, 4. That would be a +1 modifier.
Then I'm gonna turn here. So, +1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, +1 on a white.
She's still in my firing range, right?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Not for long.
Is it a 90-degree angle?
So because it's a
It's a hex.
hexagon. It's a 100 and
Boom, boom. Right, so you can go anywhere out there,
Yeah.
or you can go anywhere down that line.
so it's like 120.
Okay.
All right, so you go turn is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I
Turn,
can
turn,
run.
turn. Yeah,
Mhm.
do that.
My two hits are all going to go to hell, but that's fine. So that was.
I mean, but also you're not going to get hit by him.
Because no matter what, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4
Plus
hexes.
turns. Plus
Yeah.
turns, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just counting the hexes for
Yeah.
the number because we know I'm running. So if we know I'm running, we can just put me here.
You might
So
be able
1,
to get
2,
to
3,
a
4, 5, 6, 7,
5, but-
8.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's
you
a
could,
run.
You could get there, and you'd be, you'd still be 1 hex side that way, counterclockwise, right there. So he's still in your front arc.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he's still in your front arc, but yeah.
But I only went.
See, I think it's a 120-degree arc if I'm doing my math right.
Where's
So it should be a white
where's
one
the
or a
run?
black one.
Yeah, move 3 to 4 hexes. 1. This is crazy.
All right. What about the 2 titans?
He goes first.
Hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Ooh.
So hold on a second.
Ooh.
So how are you? Because you have to turn in order to make that step.
If he's
Right.
jumping,
Oh, are you,
turns
are you
don't
jumping?
matter.
If I'm. Well, I was here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was I facing that way?
I
thought it was facing
you were
this
facing,
way.
You were facing that
So
way.
this is
then you have-
forward,
So
right?
then you have to turn. No, you
That-
have to turn.
Do I have to turn to move?
Yeah, because you're
that way?
facing that way.
Yeah, you're facing
Okay.
him straight on.
Yeah.
So you have to turn.
That's right.
But
Yeah.
you also, where were you trying to go here?
Yeah, I was moving there.
So you can also just turn that way 1 and then back up.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you can still get there.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, but his back would be
Oh.
facing this way
Yeah.
when he did it.
I don't know. Where's my camera?
Should back up
I think
and
you've got
turn.
like 2 turns no matter what. Yeah.
Back
so
up and turn on her and blast her from behind
Yeah.
and get rid of her.
Ooh.
2.
Yep.
Nah, it would only be 1 because
No,
you.
because you had to turn first.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad.
You just go backwards.
There. That's where I want to be.
Oh, okay.
Maybe not. Okay. Let's try this again.
Turn in place and blast me.
So,
You
just
turn in
gonna-
place
I'm
and
just
blast
gonna
me,
move
and you're
back
still in your woods.
oh, diving deeper into the woods. That's the way you do it. Play the guitar on the MTV.
Damn it, 7s to hit again on everything. Dang it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Nope.
So of course
It's heavy woods.
Of course, I roll.
Yeah,
really,
but it'd be 4,
I
5,
roll
6.
really
6.
high when I only need
Yeah,
5
which
to
I can
hit.
still do.
When I need like a 7.
Too
to
bad
hit,
there's
I'm
no
rolling
physical
3s.
attacks in the beginner box because that would be epic.
That
1,
would,
2,
yeah.
3, 4. All right, so that
Two
is
thunderbolts
a
wailing on each other.
They do
black
7 damage with a
1.
punch and
And you're in light woods there, yeah?
13 with a kick.
Oh, Jesus.
Look at us. We're just sitting there.
Right?
Slap fight!
That'd be so good.
All right.
Yeah, but
Uh,
seriously, like I only needed a 5 to hit. I'm rolling 11s. I need a 7 or 8 to hit. I'm rolling 3s.
Let's see. So
Just because.
I have 4, 6, 7. I have 7 to hit on everything.
Excellent. All right.
Did we win
LRM,
initiative? Do we go first?
LRM 15 is a 6.
Yeah. Wait.
Oh, sorry. You're right. You
They
should.
won
Yeah, they won
initiative, so
initiative.
they should shoot first.
Of course, I don't get a chance to
Wait,
shoot.
no. We shoot first.
Did
right?
you win initiative?
We won initiative this time. I just moved last. Yeah.
Oh, then
Oh,
yes,
oh,
you
I'm
shoot
sorry.
first.
All right. Are we going to count that roll that I just did, or are we re-rolling?
Reroll. Reroll. Yeah.
All right.
GM?
Yeah,
I leave it up to God.
I don't remember what you rolled.
Yeah, neither do I.
All right.
Sorry, I blanked. My
All right.
bad.
All right. Same round come anyway. All right. So I missed with the LRM 15. SRM 2 is also a miss. Come on, give me some 7s with the medium lasers. There's 1.
One.
There's
And another
2.
one?
There's
Come
that
on,
should
come
be a
on,
hit.
come on.
That's a hit. All right.
You have some reliable medium lasers.
Yes, he does.
3 medium lasers. I got a large laser now. That's a miss. And 2 machine guns. That's a hit and a hit. So I hit 3 medium lasers and 2 machine guns.
So 3 5-point hits and 2 2-points.
3 5-point hits. 6.
Right torso.
So that's 5 to the right torso. 8.
5 to the left torso.
7. 5 to the center
5 to the
torso.
center torso.
Ooh, getting close.
2
Any-
2-points.
How many? That's 9.
Left leg.
Left leg. Woof.
Pristine.
That's 2. 2 to the left leg and 2 more to the left leg. Ah!
Brat. It's like,
Ah!
Oh, that's so heartbreaking.
that's insane.
The
It's
time.
like
All cinder.
That should not be. That just should not be.
There's like a decent shot to your torso, your
Or the
right
head.
arm, or the head.
And it's
He's
gone.
just- yeah.
All right. And where are you? You're facing away from him. You can't shoot at him. All right. All right. Go ahead. Fire point blank at Jimbo.
Except that I'm a 7 to hit. So we'll see what happens.
Go
So
after him.
Right.
medium
That's all I
laser.
can hit.
Headshot. Come on, man.
Medium
Boom.
laser.
That's all we need.
Misses.
He's got 1 point.
Yeah, I know.
1 point.
Just one
AC 5.
boxcars and knock 'em out.
Misses.
Really?
SRM 6. Come
You
on.
missed twice?
Yep.
I need a 7 to hit.
Oh.
I need a 7 to hit anything.
That's
I'll
okay
do
though.
this.
He can't hit you, so
Yeah.
at least there's that.
whiff. I hate when that
Okay.
happens.
All
I
right,
hate
my
it.
shot. I'm gonna take. What range am I on the big guy?
You don't have any shots.
Yeah, I do.
Oh,
Yeah, he can shoot you.
Oh.
Gotta go
But
through
you
some
just gotta
heavy
figure
woods.
out his what
4 or
his
5.
to hit
You're shooting
is.
into heavy woods. So
Yeah.
4 or 5. So
Uh,
it's a 5 range. You've got a
4 walk 5. Your mod 6. 7, 8 for woods, and then whatever range is, which is nothing for the autocannon, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 8s and 10s. 8 with the autocannon, 10 with anything else.
Medium laser.
10 or better. Nope.
5. SRM 6. 7.
Nope.
Oof.
AC 5. 4.
Oh man. Did we both whiff?
Yeah, we both went.
I would say you could get like 12 on the damn SRM 6, and it's like, and then roll another 10, and it's like
Okay.
all 6 missiles hit, or all 10 missiles, all
long-range
500
missile. Long
missiles hit.
range
I-
missile.
Same thing. Like
So hold on. So it should
sevens
be.
to hit you.
This reminds me of
Is that
Yellow
right?
Beard.
So it's
Yeah.
4.
Right?
What do we
5
do,
to
sir?
your
We'll
movement,
fire a little and miss a lot.
And 6 for mine. It should be 8.
That is what
Because
we
you
in the
moved,
Royal
you
Navy
moved
call
1, which gets you up to a
lie.
5. I moved 1, which gets me up to a 6, and I'm in
Is
heavy
that a
woods.
2 or a 1? I can't
That's a
see.
It's a 1.
So that gets you up to a 6, and I'm in heavy woods, which should be 7, 8.
I can't believe we both just whiffed. I was sure like Jim was gonna get a headshot. Like,
Yeah,
like just
I'm
hit the
sorry,
one
well.
and it'd be like, ah. And it's like I can't decide if we're just lucky or unlucky.
Okay,
Unlucky.
yeah.
It's unlucky.
8s. Look at
Unlucky
eights.
smoking boots.
Long range missile
Long range missile.
at short range.
3 and 6. Okay.
Missed.
I
Large laser. 9.
Hit.
That will hit.
died. Ooh,
Medium laser.
the red one is somewhere down there. I mean the black
Oh,
one.
wait.
Black ones work as well. The red just
Found
is
it.
so symbolic of
I don't
bleeding.
want that one.
8
That will
hits.
hit.
Ooh,
Next medium laser
is a
will
hit.
hit. And last medium laser will miss. So
Where's
2.
The red is over
Yeah.
there. Jim has the red, and then there's
Jim,
some
hand me
black
the-
ones
the
floating
red,
around.
please. Thank you.
I said,
2 medium lasers and a large laser.
they both work. Just the red looks
Alright.
so pretty. It looks so.
All right.
ow.
We'll
Yeah.
start with large.
Ah!
Large Marge.
8. So what's the damage on that to the
Hell
left
of a
torso?
large
That
barge,
is
Sencha.
8 damage.
1, 2,
That is half a
3,
ton of armor
4,
plate right
5,
there.
6.
1 ton of armor is 16
8.
points.
Mm.
5.
5, and that would be
to the
5.
Right leg.
And that's 5 to the right leg.
And
That's the
last
one.
laser,
8.
8.
Also the left torso. And that's 5 to the left torso.
Yes.
Alright. What happens if my left torso goes out? I lose my left arm?
Yep.
And anything that's
Anything attached to it.
Yep.
attached to your, so
To that.
a lot of your armaments are probably gone too.
It'd be my medium laser
Mhm.
is on my left torso. And my machine gun is on my left arm. Alright.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so that's it, and now we're rolling for initiative, yeah?
Yep, clear movement. So, those machine guns, they only do 2 points of damage to an enemy mech. If there was infantry out on the field, you would roll 2d6, and that's the number of soldiers that get cacked by a machine gun.
Okay.
And if they're moving in the open without cover, you double whatever you rolled.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I rolled a 9 for initiative.
6.
Alright.
Curses.
Versus.
You guys have initiative, they get to move something first. But yeah, a lot of people are like, why do we even have MGs on these mechs? They suck. Well, when infantry comes on the field, you'll be very, very glad you have them.
I wonder.
Don't we move
That
first?
could
Oh,
be
they move
stupid.
first. That's right.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. That keeps everybody in my range, fan. That also means he can turn around and blast the hell out of me, but
Yeah, but if he's I don't think he's gonna blast the hell out of you. I think he wants to blast the hell out of me. And
It's a game back in the 90s where we saw a guy lose an assault mech to infantry.
that would be a
It was
6.
horrifying.
Yeah, you have to run to get in there.
Well, there were 2
1,
platoons
2,
of
3,
infantry
4,
dug in on the
5.
side of a
Yeah.
hill with
But
mortars.
at that point, you're also putting the
and
woods
he
in the
blundered
way.
into a river,
Of him.
waist-high river,
Yeah.
and couldn't get away
1,
fast
2, 3,
enough.
4.
They just started dropping mortar rounds on
And
him.
then you can turn if you want.
What's the walk for these guys? Walking
5.
is 5.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that.
Remember I said most
So
most
that's
heavy
still a
mechs
white
move
one.
4 and run 6. Most the most common medium mech profile is 5 and 8.
That's still a white one.
No, it should be a white 2.
White 2?
Yeah, 5.
Oh,
No, because you move
no.
4. You move
Yeah,
4.
move
You're right.
4.
Right.
It was only
Alright.
it was
Which of yours
five
is it?
5 movement, but it was only 4 hexes.
Yeah.
Okay.
This may or may not
Do
pan
you
out.
want to move?
This may or may not pan out.
1, 2.
Ooh.
What does that put me at?
White one.
White one.
White one, and
No,
both,
white
both in
6.
close range.
White 6.
White 6.
Yeah.
Oh, he moved one.
But it doesn't.
But he didn't
Oh,
move
that's
far
right.
enough.
Yep. He
move
didn't.
3
Yeah,
4
X's.
X's.
that's right.
Alright, so it's on me now. If I was
So we're
here,
both. Yeah, I think we're
would we
both. At,
consider
Theme
like
of Monty Python.
we're both
Yeah.
at 5 to hit again.
Jam?
Indeed.
Jeff, if
not
I
gonna
was
happen.
here, would we consider light woods to be in between me and him?
We're not going to hit each other.
Yes, because there's a hex on.
standing
Well,
It's like,
Of course, I didn't shoot
okay,
at you. I
here's
shot
how
at
we
him.
do it. If you're there, and there's light woods on the right side, let me take a look at the way the LOS.
I think
is
it's
calculated.
2, right? You'd be in light woods and
The in
there'd
light
be-
woods doesn't hurt
there'd
me.
be in between,
The in light woods doesn't hurt me. Your being in light woods does hurt me.
right?
But
Okay, I'm looking to see if they have an example of yes.
I
A
think
to
it's
D.
in between, right?
Yes, but when it rides a line like that, the target player chooses whether or not the light woods affects LOS. So, if you're standing there, you're engaging down that line where there's woods on the right and nothing on the left. If you're firing the first shot between these two mechs, then the defender, which would be you, would say, I want to count the woods. But then if you return fire, you'd have to count the woods.
gotcha.
Oh, okay.
So if you're receiving the fire, you can choose when it rides a line like that whether the wood counts or not, but then it counts against you as well.
So essentially, it's like ducking into it.
Right. I thought that was the rule, but
One,
I've seen enough difference between this and the
2,
standard rules that I wanted to look it up before I made a
3,
quote.
4, 5, 6. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's a black 2.
You're running. Then.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Well,
So he's positioning himself in a defensive way, which means he's feeling like he's hurt.
Well, it means that they have initiative. It means that he gets to move last, is what it means.
Yeah, but
I can't put.
You're
myself,
avoiding my fire.
I'm not avoiding your fire. I'm avoiding his fire.
He can move after you though, so you can't.
I like to avoid being short in general.
Now you're talking Monty Python again.
Now I can shoot Arabak.
You know, there's a lot of rabbits in those old drawings and those old little manuscripts. There's a lot of snails too.
The rabbit's a killer.
So, can we fire at different
Big
people?
nasty teeth.
This long.
Jeff, can we fire at different people?
you need target your weapons.
Yes. In this version of the rules, no, you really can't. But in the full version, you
Yes,
can
you
multi-target,
Yeah.
but it costs you 1 extra point of
Accuracy.
accuracy when you
Okay.
switch targets.
Okay.
Like if
But
you were
did
shooting
the
at both
torso,
of them.
if you did the torso turn,
Yeah.
you can't like do and then turn and do
No.
it.
Yeah.
Once you've declared which direction your torso is pointing, your targets have to be within that arc. The only
Yep.
exceptions would be if you had rear-mounted weapons, which none of these mechs do, but occasionally they put a couple of medium lasers facing that way to keep the light mechs honest.
Yeah.
Or certain mechs are built without elbow or lower arm actuators. Basically, their arm is a gun barrel. They can crank their arms around behind them. But, once again, you designate a primary target and a secondary target, and that secondary target's an extra +1.
Jim, can I see your
So, for the purposes of beginner
Bob.
box, pick
Yeah.
one target. But
Yeah.
in the
Right.
future,
Can I see yours?
Bring coconuts next time.
Because they want
It's
initiative,
very colorful.
Right? They want initiative, so they fire first.
Coconuts.
They
are
are
standing
they
in a
fire
row.
first. That
Yes.
is true.
They do fire first.
There stands
We
me
just need
I'm
wife.
thinking.
Think
They
about
are-
it.
Can you can, he's not in your arc, is he? You can't shoot at him. You've got to shoot at Jim.
I'm
Yeah.
not-
Alright.
I'm not
Also,
at
I'm
both
only
of you
5.
guys' arcs.
I'm
Light
only
'em up.
5 to hit Jim. So
Yeah.
Sorry,
Okay,
dude,
So
I
you,
think
so
you're gonna
you,
get hit.
you,
Oh, yeah, I'm
are,
gonna
you
get
roll
hammered.
first.
okay.
and see. Well, but if
We're gonna do.
Yeah.
We'll do our attacks first.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
do their attacks first, and then you go.
I mean,
and
between
depending,
us two.
depending on what you do.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm shooting at the other
Yep.
Wolverine.
Yeah, exactly.
What's my odds here? I got a 1 plus 4, 5.
We're both at a 5.
Both at a 5, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
God, those Wolverines are just die. Why won't you die?
Oh, we can't hit each other. Okay, well this is the medium laser, 9 hits.
That's
Okay.
a hit.
The SRM6 is a 3, which misses.
Oh, phew.
And the AC5 is 8.
That hits.
That hits.
Ouch. Where's that red pen?
Okay, so the medium
Red pen.
laser, that does 5 damage, and
yes,
it
sir.
does 5 damage to your 9, which is the
Left leg.
leg.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And the AC5 does 5 damage to your 8. Your
Left torso.
torso, so it's just
1,
more distributed.
2, 3, 4, 5.
That leg's not looking too good though.
I'd like to be able to aim.
What
Can
happens
you
if
aim
you
it
lose a
at
leg?
particular-
Indeed, you can. When you get into the advanced rules, you can call high or low. You can call left or right. That spoils your aim by 3, but it skews the damage towards where you want to go. If an enemy mech shuts down, you can call a specific
Nice.
location.
Cheating.
So if the enemy overheats themselves, their engine
Fantastic.
shuts down, and they're just standing
That is
there,
fantastic.
then you can call, I want to hit the left arm.
These
I
other
want to
ones
hit
that
the
we
right
aren't
leg.
using yet.
The head
Yeah.
hits are really hard.
Cover
They're
and
really hard.
actuators.
It's hard to hit a leg because
Now,
the leg's moving.
There's
once
so
physical
much
combat
in this game.
gets into being a
Okay.
thing, all kicks hit the legs unless there's an elevation difference between the mechs. But the punches have a 1 in 6 chance of hitting the cockpit. So if you've got somebody who's hanging on by a point or two, like a couple of these mechs,
Just get in
you
there.
go up and just start punching.
Yeah, if you're better off doing that.
But when you punch, you can't fire any of the weapons in that arm. So, and the same is true of kicks, but people very rarely put weapons in the legs. Like the Crusader has a missile launcher in its leg or something like that. So,
Okay, I'm gonna fire at my good friend over here in the Thunderbolt. See what I can do. I've got
Total
for my
grinding.
large laser and long range missile, which I have 6. I've fired this 5 times, so I've got.
Well, we're not
Yeah.
counting ammo though.
Oh, we're not.
No, we're not.
Okay, well then. No
Yeah,
worries.
no, I was doing it.
Infinite
I was doing
missiles,
it out
yay.
of
That's at
habit.
that's at the
Just
advanced
to keep
level.
myself in the habit, but yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was in this rule set. I read it in the rule set, but whatever. It doesn't matter. We're just playing. It's not like we're in a competition here. All right.
Illustrating
So
the
We're in
principles
the
of the
crawl
game.
phase.
6 is for my long range weapons, the long range
Hold on.
missile, and the large laser.
I
and
have 7 because I moved far enough to get a 2 modifier.
Okay. So how are you getting 7?
So who are you shooting? You're shooting at me?
Yeah.
You're shooting at me?
Mhm.
So 4 plus 1 for you because you walked, so that's 5.
Yep.
Plus 2 for me because I moved 4, so that's 7.
I wonder why this thing's not calculating right. It's odd. So maybe I have to go up 1. Yeah, that's odd. This thing's not calculating right.
what is it a BattleTech app?
Yeah, it's a little.
They-
Like you just put the things in, but it's. Oh,
I moved 4.
Okay.
yeah, you moved 4.
Oh, you know what? Hold on.
You moved 4.
I
That's
moved
a
4.
1.
You are right. You are right. My bad.
No worries, man. Okay, let's try this again. Or I'm gonna fire with my LRM first. No.
Oof.
Large laser. Yes.
Boom.
Medium lasers will require 7. No. 2 more.
And I'm
Nope.
realizing.
And nope.
Oh my gosh.
So I hit with the large laser, and that's hit.
12.
Well, a 12 or a 7 may do it.
Yep.
How much is damage is the large laser?
Oh,
Oh my god!
Seriously?
What?
head hit!
Hit. All right.
That blows your cockpit off.
Blows my cockpit off at the end of this round.
Yes, you do get to return fire, and then there's a bright flash, and it's all over.
And it's all over.
Bye-bye.
Wow.
All right.
That's not in BattleTech, but there is another mecha role-playing game where when something like this happens, you get to roll to see if you have... the table will be like, you have time for a meaningful flashback before you die.
Yeah.
You have time for a death soliloquy and a meaningful flashback.
And then you get
Alright.
to do your
Tell them I
soliloquy.
said something.
So
You have
that
time
being
to
the
call a
case-
loved one.
Pancho Villa's last line.
All right. So now you go first, and you've got to go after after what's his nuts, Jim.
Did you? He,
No,
he
don't.
already fired.
Did he already
Here.
fire?
I already fired.
That's right.
Fire.
That's
Yeah,
when I
so
took
you're-
my damage.
so
Okay,
yeah,
I'm
so you're
sorry.
going next.
I derped. I derped hard. Sorry, gentlemen. I am. Oh yeah, I'm a 5. I knew this. This is the thing I knew. So medium laser is a hit. AC 5 is a hit. SRM 6 is a hit. So can I roll?
Number of missiles hitting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is going to you.
That
9.
is a 9.
That's
Right.
5 missiles.
So you roll that damage first.
Yeah.
And this is 2 points of damage each.
All right.
Or
so
do we want to roll the 5?
roll them in, do them in the order in which they were fired.
Okay. So
I
this
was
is
just reverse
so,
angle. Like
so this is a medium laser.
5 points
Is
to the
3
3.
points to 5 points to the right arm. AC 5 is that's a 6.
Right
so
torso.
that's 5 points to the right torso.
Ew, completely filled.
And
Ooh.
and now we're rolling the
SRM
missiles.
2.
Starts going
I
into
know.
your
I can.
center.
Yeah, it's got the little arrows that go into
So-
that area.
6 is another right torso.
2 points to now the center torso.
Okay. 2 points?
Yep. Those
Okay.
are just a little missile.
Because there's an arrow that points towards the center torso.
Yeah.
yeah, that's,
why
where
I
the
put 2 damage
yeah.
there. Okay. Because I'm all filled up in the right torso. So I see how it distributes. There's a circuit.
So that's 4 is 2 points to the right arm.
Which,
All right.
but you don't have the he doesn't have the right arm.
He
yet.
can still mark the right arm because the right torso just got knocked out right now. So the arm is still there at the moment.
Yeah.
If it rolls for the right arm, does this just mean
Once the
It
arm is
misses?
gone and the torso is gone, any hits transfer
all the way
inward.
in?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's an advanced
the
rule
next-
for like missing
so on
because
the
the
next-
So
arm's
this is
gone.
my
but
third roll. Sorry,
On
I'm
the-
just trying
on
to
the
count
next
rolls.
round-
this is the third one.
We consider the right arm gone.
Yes.
Right? And it would transfer.
So for right now, the arm's
Okay.
still there, but next round it's gone.
Because he would still be
That's
able to
an
learn.
11,
which is
2
left
points
arm.
to the left arm.
Okay.
That was the third
Oh,
roll.
that-
Yeah, you have 2 left.
You're almost armless.
That is a 9.
Left
You
leg,
can't-
2
leg.
After
points.
this, you can't use your AC 5 anymore.
2 points to the left leg, Jim.
2 points left leg. Okay.
And
Yes,
the
sir.
final one
8
is a torso.
2 points to left torso.
2 points to the left torso. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You were not in a good way, Nate.
All
Okay.
right, let me
So
let me look
this live stream will end in about 5 minutes. So what we want is some closing comments. from you.
Sure.
Because the point is not that we're playing the game; we're illustrating the principles
Yes.
of the game.
So, you know, I think we did a pretty good job of picking up the rules pretty quickly. I almost found it frustrating not to bust straight to the full-on rules because I get how the box teaches a new player who's never played before, but it's almost difficult to dial back the rules enough to not immediately jump in and go, no, wait, you need to add an extra point for jumping and, you know, all of that sort of thing. So, how did you guys feel about the game?
Nice, elegant, and simple.
I do.
Yeah.
I really like this. I and I can see how once you've played this a few times, it can be fun to start to add in some of those other rules.
Yes.
But I'm glad that there is a
Training wheels version.
Training wheels
Yeah.
version that that this is really
Right.
fun playing it like
Well,
this.
and sorry. I
This
was
is a
trying to get
system
this.
that definitely needs a
Yeah.
crawl, walk, run, but the crawl phase is still fun. Like
Yes.
this was this was still fun and still got into it and like, hey, look at that. And I mean, we just blew the head off a thunderbolt. So
Yes.
Although
There's some, I like the fact that there's a couple of mechanics in here that can make the combat swing a little bit,
yeah.
and it's not just about overpowering. So, it's definitely, I think that really the initiative win was the thing that set us up almost every time.
I think
Whoever got it was outmaneuvering, and they
Yeah,
were just way better. That almost,
I feel like that's
Yeah.
the one modification that I would make is having everyone roll initiative individually. I think
And
would be
some players do that.
I think would be a much more equitable way to play the game.
right, and just set them up like that.
Yeah.
There are a lot of tweaks for your own play style. Like, for instance, when we play with role-playing characters, a lot of times we do individual initiative because different characters will have higher or lower reflex skills, and one of them actually might have like a feat that gives them an
Yeah.
initiative bonus. Now, what's interesting is if you're playing just the war game without the role-playing element, there are still some character elements that can be added in, including like specific things a unit as a whole is good at. And one of those that was interesting because you guys are bringing up initiative is the ability to bank initiative. You voluntarily give up initiative to the other team. And for every 2 rounds you do that, you've got 1 round of guaranteed initiative up to a maximum of 3. So you can kind of hold your line for a while and just cede the initiative to the other team, and then all of a sudden give yourself 3 rounds of we're going to go in there and we're going to do exactly what we want to do.
If you have 2 sides that do that,
It's a very good question.
They cancel each other out?
I haven't run into that problem before. We'd have to see. But no, I love this game. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I was very happy to hear some of the tactics that I hear from long-term players getting discussed back and forth because, well, some of it's just plain tactics.
Yeah. Tactics is kind of tactics. However, there's definitely some stuff here that, especially if you haven't been mechanized, if most of your experience is
Just table.
light and dismounted fighting, some of the stuff that is exactly what you do, that was like the Type 360 is slightly different in mecha than it is with a fire team.
It's true. That's true.
Well,
And
I think that having the mechs where they're not impeding sight, that's one of the rules that's in here.
Yeah.
You can't put yourself in front and block.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, that definitely changes it.
And
'Cause now
there are-
now you don't need to. You can face each other
Yeah.
and keep your full arc. Whereas if you shot straight,
and there are
ahead in some
situations
games,
in which mechs
You're
do
shooting-
block.
Yeah.
you would hit your own guy.
Yes.
When we're playing on a hex map, like I said, each of these hexes represents 30 meters, so the mech doesn't fill the entire hex.
No.
So you can shoot through a mech to hit a
Right.
mech on the other side. But if we were playing with the terrain rules, where instead of measuring hexes, we're pulling a measuring tape to see how far the mechs can go,
Yeah.
in that case, the model does block LOS.
Yes.
When you're playing with real,
Real distance and real line of sight.
The other way in which you can block is in one of these wonderful advanced rule books. The next book up is called Tactical Operations, and it adds all of these little bells and whistles that are just fiddly, like wind direction and how smoke blows across the battlefield and how quickly does it dissipate and weather conditions. And so you can do all that, but one of the things you can try in there is a guarding or protective movement mode that allows you to take hits for another object, building, a mech, a vehicle, whatever it is you're trying to protect. So if you wanted to do a mission where the 4 of you are tasked with protect the ambassador and he's in a tank, and as he's rolling across the field, that sort of advanced rule would let you be the thing that blocks the LOS to that tank.
Yeah.
Okay, quickly, a summary.
Summary?
Initiative,
Yes.
measurement of accuracy,
Mm-hmm.
damage to hit, and what location?
Okay, so initiative phase is simply a 2d6 roll-off between each team. You want to, the team that won initiative will always move a unit last, allowing them to see where their enemies start out. Movement, walk, run, or jump. Running faster than walking, jumping more flexible, but in that order, they spoil your aim more and more. When you get to the weapon attack phase, you take your skill into account, how far you moved, how far they moved, if there's any terrain between you, and the distance. You roll for that target number, apply the damage to the mech. There's a center right and left torso, and then one each right and left arms. Once you've blown through the armor in this version, that location of the mech is now destroyed. We get into the nitty-grit when we get into the next set of rules.
Golf clap. Okay.
All right. So before we go, like the round isn't over. I really want to roll my last.
All right. I think we
see,
got.
Let's see if you can.
We have a minute.
You might be able to,
You got a minute to win it!
All right. I need 7s and 9s. LRM 15 is a hit. SRM 2 is a hit. Medium laser 1 is a miss. Medium laser 2 is a miss. Medium laser 3 is a miss. Large laser is a hit. And machine guns are out of range.
Okay.
So I hit with the LRM 15. the
Roll for
SRM
number of
2.
missiles.
Are you hitting the Wolverine or the
7.
other? You said
7
me?
center
Yeah.
torso.
No, I'm hitting him.
Oh, you're hitting him. Okay.
So 7.
Alright,
No, 7 is the number of shots.
Oh, that's right.
So that's
So
9
15,
missiles,
so that's
1
9
5-point
missiles.
location.
1 5-point location. So that's 10.
How is he
Left
hitting me?
arm 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm hitting you right there.
Am I in your arc?
Just barely.
Yep.
Oh,
No, you're
wait, no,
not.
he's not.
Yeah.
I guess you're
That's
hitting
why
me
I
then.
moved
So I
there.
guess I'm hitting you.
Yep.
Well,
Okay.
so that changes the modifiers, but because you're closer.
Roll again.
Just roll over.
Huh?
It's just gonna go to black while we're rolling.
All right.
Well, it's gone past.
It's gone. All right. LRM 15 is a hit. So so hold on. So you're a 0. So I need 6s on everything.
Now, in full-on
4,
BattleTech,
6.
those LRMs would be friggin' worthless at that range.
6.
They have a minimum range of 6, and you're at 2, so you'd be -4 or +4 to hit with those up in your face.
All right. So I'm rolling again. So I need 6s on everything except for the machine guns. I need 8s. That's a miss now, although I hit with it twice. 6 with so I hit with the SRM 2, hit with the first medium laser, miss,
God.
Ouch.
hit with the large laser, and then miss with the first machine gun, miss with the second machine gun. So I hit with what? What did I hit with?
LRM,
No,
no, you missed with the
I
LRM?
missed with the LRM. I
Okay,
think I
so
hit
you
with
hit
the
with the
SRM
SRM.
too.
So number of missiles, both.
10 is 2 hits, is 2 missiles.
2 points to the right arm.
Right arm. Okay, my
Yeah.
right arm's out.
All right.
2
Yes,
points.
my left arm is.
Uh,
Oops, no, 2 points to my right arm. Okay, sorry.
2 points to the 11 left arm. Which,
Okay, now okay.
Yeah.
All right.
all right. And then what else did I hit? I hit with the medium laser once. This is 5 points to 6.
Right
is the
torso.
right
That
torso.
right arm stuff would go here.
1, 2, 3. How many damage does it do?
5
6?
points.
3, 4, 5. Okay.
And then what else did I hit with?
You hit with the large laser.
With the large laser, that's a 5.
Right leg, 8 points.
Right leg, 8 points, huh? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wow.
All right.
Right.
That's
So
That was it.
both my arms are not functioning anymore.
Youch.
Which means you can't fire anything.
I'll
right?
bite your legs
No,
off!
he's got his SRM6. That's it. He's got that attached to the
Except there's
left
2 of us
torso.
standing and you're down, so we won. Bam. Stop and complete.